that our export of electricity to other countries should be curtailed. Okay. Because the president has an acute sense of the national need that making profit abroad.
So this directive would have gone to VRA, because VRA has contractual arrangements with the neighboring countries to sell power to them.
Yes.
So that is being curtailed as we speak based on the present directive.
Yes, because we can't afford to say that, okay, let's make good money abroad and let the national economy suffer. So in the meantime, whatever is going to our side also should be curtailed and fed on the national grid so that we have electricity.
Mr. Samuel Atachia is Energy Committee Chair in Parliament. You heard him in an interview with my colleague Evans Mensah. Away from that, the Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Samuel Asamoah-Boateng, is urging persons calling for the arrest and prosecution of the 63-year-old traditional priest accused of marrying an underage girl to hang on for a while as deliberations on the next step continues. Many human rights groups want the traditional priest to face the full rigors of the law. Madina MP Francis Aviesosu has gone a step further to petition the Criminal Investigations Department for the Bobu Wulomo to be arrested and prosecuted. The Office of the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice has also directed the IGP and the Criminal Investigations Department to investigate and prosecute him if he is found culpable.
Those who are calling for arrest and all that, I would say hang on for a while. It's an option which is available. I wouldn't close it because that's not my job. The Minister of Interior would advise and then the Attorney General would advise. And I'll give them the version I've heard. So we can then arrive at a conclusion. What is the next step?
Well, Mr. Samuel Asamoah-Boateng says the girl at the center has been identified as a minor, but investigations are underway to unravel more details about her.
We seem to be unraveling some few things. For instance, the age 12 that we were made to believe is incorrect. The child is almost 16, but still a minor. But the difference in age alone tells us there's something more we have to look for. So we won't take the word. We have to look for what's the birth certificate, for instance. Which school does she go to, for instance? So records there will give us confirmation. So those are things that we keep on doing.
Meanwhile, the office of the Bobu Wulomo has denied allegations of the priest having any sexual relationship with the girl.
We would like to emphasize that there is no carnal relationship or marriage involved as perceived by many. For the records, the other wives to the deity have their own respective legal husbands. The items presented on Saturday, 30th March 2024 were not the usual items presented during marriage rites. Rather, they are to aid Nayomo Ayamwede to carry out her traditional duties as already mentioned.
Now, chairman of the Hill Confanochi project has told Joy News government officials are intervening to get containers of tiles locked up at the Tema port over tax duties cleared. The Hill Confanochi project, aimed at renovating the 70-year-old Confanochi Teaching Hospital in Kumasi, has suffered a setback following the inability of management to clear some of the items from the ports. Chairman of the project, Dr. Samuel Edubwache, told my colleague Elton Brobe on the polls that they are working to ensure the items are cleared.
There have been some very good positive developments since we spoke on the SMS. We've had some very influential officials of government coming around to help us expedite and also take out the components of due.
Now, residents along the Ofanko-Pokwasi in Sewon part of the Accra-Kumasi Road are grappling with dust generated by an ongoing road construction. The air pollution is causing a range of health problems that have alarmed health experts. Reporter Michael Ashali has more.
The Ofanko-Pokwasi in Sewon Highway has become a dust-choked battleground, leaving residents and workers here grappling with air pollution.
Once they started this road, the dust is worrying us too much. It worries me when I dress up to go to work.
It's not just adults who are affected. Hegai Bamari is an expected mother.
That's why I always put on the mask. Because if I don't put on the mask, when I reach home now, my throat will be paining me. I have to take in some Mentos before I be up. But right now that I'm wearing the mask, I don't get that thing again.
Hegai sells nose mask along the dusty road. She's not the only one made sick by the dust here. Experts say pollutants may pass to Hegai's unborn child, risking birth defects and lifelong problems.
Now, Noah Kane, a former radio presenter, has recounted how he lost his family and livelihood through drugs. According to him, he got into drugs because he was told it will make him more assertive and confident. Unfortunately, his addiction cost him his job and family. Noah Kane is one of the creative captured in a new Hotline documentary by Joy FM journalist Kwame Datsi.
It got to a point in time, instead of me going on air, I wouldn't go. I would say, Mufti Dabri, Najib, it is a good play for me. So it got to a point in time, despite says, no, it seems this guy has lost it, has lost focus. And apparently I was relieved of my duties.
Not only did Noah King lose his job, he also lost his family and resorted to sleeping in slums.
One day I went to town, and then before I came back, she packed bag and baggages and left unceremoniously with a young chap, Jaden, and they left. And when I came, I said, oh yes, beautiful. I love it that you guys went. Wow. Reasons being that the little that I have, I can use it to satisfy myself again.
But Noah King is not the only Ghanaian creative that has suffered the scourge of drug addiction. Kiki Jan, Timothy Bentum, OJ Black, Nasty, Lord Kenya, Okonfo Kwade, Sugar Tone, and Red Eye of Too Tough fame have been in this situation.
And that documentary by Kwame Datsi, it's airing today on Joy SMS and Prime Morning at 8:30 a.m. And that's it for the bulletin. Our top story: President Akufo-Addo orders power export to neighboring countries to be curtailed as a major step in addressing the power challenges ahead of a critical meeting with industry stakeholders on Saturday. I am Amisi Nyamiche Thompson. Business is next on the Super Morning Show.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Oh, Bobo, so how's your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panzapa. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Service. Millennium Insurance has enhanced its motor insurance policy cover to make life more comfortable for you, our valued clients, and in the event of vehicle breakdown whilst on the road. To ensure your safety and that of your vehicle, Millennium Insurance will ensure that your broken down vehicle is towed to a safe place within 1 hour of call and 30 kilometers radius from the place of breakdown. This service is absolutely free. Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner, is on standby to be of service to you. Contact us now on 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821, 0501 394 997 or 0501 285 821.
Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
Hello,
Hello, Auntie Araba. Hey, Bugger, how are you doing today? I want to buy Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, but I don't have enough money. So what are you going to do? Can you give me the big size? As for me, I'll pay the balance later. Today, no credit. I haven't sold much this morning. If you don't have enough money for the big size, why don't you try the 120-gram pack? There's a 120-gram pack? Introducing the new Pepsodent Cavity Fighter in 120-gram pack size. More affordable and convenient. Get yours today from any supermarket near you. Every smile matters. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello? Yo, bro! SG Ghana has done it again. Low interest rates on loans this year too. Yatisubium.
Charlie, I did throw inside. Let me call you back.
Call SG Ghana rather. Collect loan and buy car, my guy. Very low interest rates on loans this year too. It's difficult to keep good news to yourself, especially when it can transform your life and those close to you. SG Ghana went low on interest rates last year, and this year we are even lower. Yes, Yatisubium. Get the money you need to turn your dreams into a reality. Visit any SG Ghana branch near you and speak to our dedicated staff about the amazing Yatisubium loans today. You can also call 0302-214-314 for more details.
Oh, Joe, it's 3 a.m. What now?
Yatisubium. Okay, bye. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
Hello? Yeah, Kofi. Charlie, we spoke about going to Imperial for our motor insurance today.
Shit, are you the one to remind me? I am at Imperial already.
What?
I told you about their motor insurance promo, right?
Yeah.
This time it is reloaded, my brother.
Wow.
Imperial General is saying, come insure with them from now till the end of April and get yourself handsome rewards. 4 coupons, special souvenirs, gift vouchers, and many, many more. And here's the catch. During this reward period, your motor insurance policy will give you an automatic 1-year life insurance cover, my brother. And now you can also get brand new tires and other car accessories as well. It is really reloaded. Everybody qualifies. Just insure your car and you are done.
Hey, Charlie, I hear I can even do it online and still get my reward.
Oh yes, don't slow. Talk to your broker, agent, or call us on 0577-667-436 for further details. You can also follow us on all our socials. T&C Supply, Imperial General Assurance, solid protection.
Morning.
Have you ever tried any illegal drugs?
No.
That something tells me you wouldn't even admit if you had.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, okay. Well, as it turns out, creatives tend to be amongst the people who have the most addictive personalities, and they very easily become addicted to substances that alter the mind or the body. And well, they've been talking about the rather interesting reasons why they seem to get hooked on such substances. To Kwame Daze in his latest documentary, Creative Addiction. Listen to this.
They tell you that drugs will enlarge your creative horizon. There are so many things that you can create and do that under normal circumstances you will not be able to. And surprisingly, there's some truth to it.
Yeah. I mean, it does alter the mind. So it alters the way you think. Yeah. And sometimes as a creative person, when you are able to change the way you think, it changes what you can create. And for some people, that short-term benefit seems worth the risk of damaging your body, your brain, with some of these very potent substances.
I can imagine they under so much pressure to keep up with the successes they've talked over time. I mean, I'm even thinking about people outside of Ghana like Whitney Houston, addiction to drugs and all of that. So much pressure.
Indeed. But it's funny. Why is it that it is those in the creative arts that seem to be most often victims of that pressure? I mean, if you're a professor, is there not pressure for you to continue doing a good job? If you're a journalist or an engineer or a doctor, is there not pressure for you to keep performing at a high level?
That's a good question.
But for some reason, the creatives really become victims of this substance abuse more often than people in other spheres of life.
That is true.
Today's documentary might help us understand what they go through, you know, what goes what goes on in their lives that leads to these addictions. Yeah, interesting. We have some very interesting examples as well.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. The 6 a.m. news was brought to us by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. And Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. And it's time to get it done on the Joy Business Report, brought to us by Omni Basic Bank, at your service.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, Bank of Ghana increases dollar support for market as it rolls out more measures to help stabilize cedi. Economist Professor Lord Mensah warns proposed price benchmarks for petroleum products could hurt the economy and consumers. And we highlight some issues expected to be finalized during the second IMF program review, including recapitalization of the National Investment Bank. Details coming up. Hello, thanks for joining us, everyone. Good morning to our friends listening from Kofor Radio and KT Radio. My name is Darryl Kwao. First up, Bank of Ghana has again started increasing the amount of dollars it is supplying onto the market to help stabilize the cedi. This is what Joy Business has picked up from some commercial banks. Here's more in this Business Desk report.
From around $5 million to the commercial banks and business to meet their foreign exchange demand, the Bank of Ghana is now doing more than $10 million. Joy Business is learning that, for instance, about $50 million was released onto the market for last week. This represents some significant increase from the levels that the central bank was supplying to the market early last month. The foreign exchange that the regulator has been supplying onto the market is different from that dollar auction program the central bank is currently implementing. It is, for instance, planning to sell about $220 million to the importers of petroleum products for this quarter. The Bank of Ghana has also increased the cash reserve requirement for the commercial banks. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, for instance, has maintained this fresh measure should go a long way to help slow the rate of depreciation of the Ghana cedi against the US dollar.
That was a Business Desk report. Now, economist Professor Lord Mensah is warning that the proposed price benchmark for petroleum products could hurt the economy. The National Petroleum Authority will, from next Friday, April 16, start determining the least price fuel should be sold on the market. By this measure, no oil marketing company would be selling below the stipulated price. Professor Mensah says the measure could rather hurt consumers.
The impact will be, the pass-through effect of, the traders who are, trading on this, fuel, because they will not absorb, the excess price in case, the price should go beyond, the floor. And so, the transmission effect will be that consumers are going to bear the brunt of, price increase. And, we live in a country where we're talking about inflation here and there. And so, the consumer effect will be that there's going to be likely increase in price if that floor price is not fixed at equilibrium.
Professor Lord Mensah is a financial economist. Now, measures contain election-related spending this year, recapitalization of the National Investment Bank, and improving tax collections. These are some of the issues that should be finalized during the second IMF program review. George Jaffe has more.
Some of those issues that have been highlighted are not part of those targets that should be met ending December last year. Rather, because of this engagement, the IMF is taking the opportunity to get some clarity on progress of work because of its impact on Ghana's program going forward. One can talk about the expenditure and what fresh measures being instituted to ensure that government doesn't end the year with a high deficit that could destabilize the economy and the IMF program going forward. Government was recently forced to freeze the implementation of some taxes announced in the 2024 budget. One can talk about the VAT on electricity tariffs. The IMF mission will be seeking to get some clarity from government on what are the alternatives to ensure that government ends the year with a good revenue position. Another issue that should be finalized during this mission engagement is the recapitalization of National Investment Bank. Under the IMF program, the fund is working to firmly stabilize the entire financial sector. Joy Business understands that the IMF could be providing some funding to help the bank and other financial institutions. Sources say we could also get some update on the deal that has been reached with bilateral creditors and the Eurobond holders.
George Afetha, meanwhile, an associate professor of finance at the Andrews University, Professor Williams Prepra, has disclosed that government may fail in some areas under the IMF program review.
We know there are some tax headlines that we have not been able to implement them fully, which has an implication on the revenue. So when it comes to that angle, we may face. But if you look at our inflation headlines as of December, we have done better than we projected in the targets. Bank of Ghana's monetary policy rate has also been in line with the target. So that is why I say there's going to be a mixed result. But all to put it, we may have more than 70% pass, because it's only the tax revenue, the one that we have not been able to implement, that's going to be a challenge. This could give the bilateral creditors that we are being disciplined. So if they are able to agree to the terms that we have put on the table, this may pave way for us to start making payments towards their outstanding loans, which we have stopped.
Associate Professor of Finance at the Andrews University, Williams Prepra. Now, former Finance Minister Seth Terkper is warning government about the potential to end the year spending more than what has been estimated in the 2024 budget. He suggests that establishing the Stabilization Fund could have acted as a buffer against recent challenges with commodity prices. The former Finance Minister maintained that this would have helped to generate additional revenue for government.
If you borrow, you must learn to pay. Said we were doing 4.9, 5.8, and we're doing well. Then came 2019, and the gap was identified, which was saved by COVID. And we turned out by 2021, 2022, the Bank of Ghana was financing the deficit. We were not doing so well after all. And I'm saying that slippage could come again if we do not generate more revenue or cut expenditure to be able to narrow the fiscal balance. That is the more important one, not the primary balance.
Seth Terkper is a former finance minister. Now, President Akufo-Addo has reassigned Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry Stephen Amoah as Deputy Minister of Finance. According to a statement from the presidency, the Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry takes over from the late John Kuma, who passed away on the 7th of March this year. His appointment takes effect immediately. President Akufo-Addo has also appointed, subject to parliamentary approval, the Member of Parliament for Achiase as Deputy Minister Designate for Trade and Industry. Now, Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Luguje, is making a case for all stakeholders to contribute to any move to reduce rate of duties and levies at the ports. According to him, government would have to involve the necessary players in the import value chain so the final consumer can benefit from any reduction. He was speaking with Joy Business on the concerns of high port duties.
You need to look at what each entity contributes and then see by what margin you can reduce it for it to affect the ordinary consumer. And that's where the challenge then comes. If you reduce, will the importer also reduce his price on the market? That's the question. If the answer is no, then it means that reducing the charges at the ports per se will not really affect anybody. It will only become profit for the importer into his pocket. So it was important that we try and make sure every particular participant in the whole chain is committed to supporting the economy. So that if I say I'm reducing import duties by 5%, if today you are selling at maybe 2 cedis on the final market, and I reduce that, are you able to sell it at 1 cedi 80 pesos? That should be a question everybody should answer. Everybody. Then, so that when government reduces it, then you know there's going to be a corresponding effect.
Michael Luguje there, Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. You are listening to the Joy Business Report. Now, under a year, Theophilus Esifu-Abuaje, who just graduated from the university, has been able to manufacture over 30 sets of agricultural machinery which are being used across the country. The entrepreneur who aims to industrialize Africa is seeking investors for his startup Age Engineering. Here's a concluding part of our feature on the Joy Business Van, where Theophilus speaks about the future of the business.
I want the company to scale in a state that will have an academy where we train, people who have interest, who are coming from, this tertiary institution. I think TVET is doing well. So, but then we'll be in a position to provide hands-on training to these people who have acquired knowledge in schools. They'll come here and do their on-site training. We want to extend or expand our operations to other regions of Ghana. So let's say in the northern part of Ghana, where a lot of cereal goes on, in the eastern region, for at least in 5 years, we are able to get 2 or 3 other branches in other regions. I think it's a laudable objective.
And do make a date 1 p.m. right after the Joy Business Report, 5 p.m. on Business Live on the Joy News channel. Before we go look at the markets, this morning on the commodity market, crude oil increased to $88 a barrel, gold selling at $2,281 an ounce after gaining marginally. Cocoa lost more than $100 to open trading at $9,948 a ton. Also on the currency market, the dollar going for 13 cedis 60 pesos. On the retail market, the pound 17 cedis, the euro going for 14 cedis 60 pesos. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Darrell Kwao. Thanks for doing the listening. The Super Morning Show continues with Kojo Yankson and the team. And so Kojo has indicated the president has reassigned the Deputy Minister of Trade, Stephen Amwa, as Deputy Minister of Finance, and subject to parliamentary approval, Member of Parliament for Achiase, that's Kofi Ahenkra, Mafo Ahenkra, is going to be headed for the Ministry of Trade and Industry. So, yeah, that's the latest over there.
Yeah, Dr. Stephen Amwa's area of official expertise has always been finance. So I'm sure he's quite glad to be sent to that ministry. Maybe finally he will get the chance to use his expertise.
Hopefully.
I say finally.
Finally, yeah. I get you.
Yeah. Finally. It's been a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming.
That expertise.
How many months does he have? Barely 8 months to
the end of the exactly. Budget already drawn. Yeah, I mean, don't we already have our budget? Well, okay, the mid-year review will come. But really, what will change?
You may never know.
Anyway, expertise, finally. Yeah. Okay, anyway,
yes. Let's inspire ourselves this rainy.
Let's see if we can.
Wednesday morning.
Kofi Sapong, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yes.
What song?
You know this one, Yehovah. Yes, it features Diana Hamilton.
I'm not too sure. Guys, I've heard it.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Well, let's see what we think. going on. Hi, Ray.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm all right. It's good to see you.
It is understandable.
Mama V sends her apologies. Couldn't make it this morning.
Yes, I'm aware. I've been in touch since dawn.
Hey.
Yes. He is doing what is expected of him.
Reasonably
As
expected
what?
that
In his capacity as what?
As a man of the masses, I will care about my people. It is reasonably expected.
So Mama V is one of your people.
Yes. Progressive forces.
Because me, when I don't make it, you don't call me.
Yeah, no. I said my people. What is unclear about that?
When you don't make it, there are other factors.
I'm not one of them.
No, there are other factors that impede the call.
We are aware.
Interesting.
But those factors shall only be discussed off radio in your own interest.
In your own interest.
If you want to bring it here, in your own interest.
You let us move.
Yes, now moving on is important.
It's 6:30. Very important.
The man feels the heat now. Anyway, let's get to our Drive Safe campaign. Brought to us by Joy News and the Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Superior Quality and Imperial General Assurance Solid Protection. So it says adjust for rain. You know, it's been it's a wet morning today.
Yeah.
It's been drizzling in some areas. So another part of being a defensive driver is knowing how to drive in all types of weather conditions, including rain. Defensive driving also means knowing when and how to pull over to wait out severe weather. Braking times increase in heavy downpours over the first 30 minutes of a heavy rainstorm. So stay on high alert during these times. Keep extra distance between your vehicle and those around you, and turn on your hazards if necessary and slow down. Very important.
Good advice.
As for the slowdown, it's very important.
Very, very important. I mean, when I was driving to work this morning, I took my time. I said, this one. So once you know it's raining, you set off early.
Especially with our bad roads, you see.
Yeah.
So when an area of the road is covered in water, you can't tell where the uneven parts are. You can't see, beneath the water, especially when it's dark. So you just need to drive carefully because you don't know when you will be driving against the lip of a massive pothole. So it's very important. All right.
Now let's learn how to say it right, and it's brought to you by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks, and Societe Generale Bank Ghana, the future is you.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say either.
There's a word I often hear people mispronounce. Let's see if we can set it right today. B-E-T-R-O-T-H-E-D. Betrothed. Betrothed. Not betrothed. Betrothed. It means to be promised in marriage or to be engaged to someone. Let's use it in a sentence. We must discourage the practice of children being betrothed to traditional leaders. Betrothed, not betrothed. That is how we say it right. Yeah, there you go. That's how you say it right.
Kojo, Elizabeth Agbezuke sent me a message last night indicating you guys have to do this. Because the way, people were mispronouncing it, particularly the lawyers, that's what she sent to me. These are not my words.
Okay.
Yes, that's what she told me. She said some lawyers were.
It seems we have to add this to our collection of words that are more often mispronounced by lawyers than other people.
Oh, they are very seasonal things.
Which one was yours? The one you did the other time was what?
Duplicitous.
Yes, duplicitous.
These words come up.
Severally is another one.
Yes. You know that thing severally. You actually would see write-ups in there. You see write-ups where it is included severally. And so sometimes, while we all know it several times, unfortunately, you see write-ups and you actually would see write-ups that are expected to have gone through all the review processes, coming out with severally.
Indeed, but I mean, the last person who should get it wrong is a lawyer, because severally is a term used more often correctly in legal spheres than in any other walk of life. Jointly and severally.
Yes.
So severally means individually. Anyway. Contempt of Obazi. Court.
The two of them will be.
There is no injunction on this, so I can speak freely.
You'll be held jointly and
severally. Yes. You will be held jointly and severally liable.
Yes.
Oh goodness. All right. Listen. Let's get into the news review brought to us by Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough, and Access Bank. Access Bank, more than banking. But before we see what's in today's papers, the papers are finally here. Listen to this, guys. So the president apparently has ordered for the curtailment of the export of electricity to neighboring countries in response to the ongoing power outages. Chairman of the Energy Committee in Parliament, Samuel Atachia, is the one who disclosed this on PM Express last night. He emphasized the president's focus on domestic energy needs over foreign profits. He stressed the importance of redirecting the electricity exported back into the national grid to address the power crisis. Let's listen to him.
So I think the president's on top of the issues. I'm even been educated that there is a command that our export of electricity to other countries should be curtailed. Okay. Because the president has an acute sense of the national need than making profit abroad.
So this directive would have gone to VRA, because VRA has contractual arrangements with the neighboring countries to sell power to them.
Yes.
So that is being curtailed as we speak based on the present directive.
Yes, because we can't afford to say that, okay, let's make good money abroad and let the national economy suffer. So in the meantime, whatever is going to our sides also should be curtailed and fed on the national grid so that we have electricity.
So is this an admission that it's a generation problem? If indeed the solution the president is deploying is that the energy we are generating for foreign countries should now come to us locally to solve the problem.
Without going into whether or not that's even the solution in the first place, I think that the only people in this country who were not willing to accept it were the people who knew the information and felt politics prevented them from telling everybody that we have a generation problem. Yes, because it was so clear. It was so clear. Nobody believed that 630 out of 33,000, which is 2% of transformers, could cause the kind of nationwide difficulty that we had. Nobody believed that. But then it was being drummed home consistently. It reached the point that even if you said you did not believe it, you were made to look like you didn't know what you were talking about. But every person you spoke to within the sector was quite clear in their minds that there is a bigger problem. At some point, we were told it was a fuel issue. And let's not get it wrong. We are transitioning long time ago from relying predominantly on hydro to relying on these thermal plants. And the plants require some fuel to run. Yeah. The difficulty is that if we have to buy it, it requires dollars. Sometimes we don't have the dollars. Remember, Oforiatta told us in 2022 or 2023 that he spent a year or a month or so, he spent like 1.2 billion every year or every month in purchasing fuel for the sector and all of that. We should come to the realization that we have a money problem. And that money problem is why we are unable to buy fuel, as has been explained to us. And that's why there is a generation problem. So plants are sitting down. They can't be kicked in when we need them because there's a problem like that. Of course, fuel. I mean, when you take that one aside, those small problems we've always had, where your power will go off for 15 minutes, at most 1 hour, they'll come and fix it kind of problems in times past. Yeah. The other point here is whether or not, so we're unable to buy fuel for ourselves, but we're able to buy fuel for the contractual relations with other countries, which is a brilliant point because you cannot abuse contracts. I'm just saying that this term they use, which they say the term is what? The term they are using now.
Curtail.
Yes.
Curtail, yes.
How does it sit within our contractual relations with the other people?
It's important to state, sorry, Winston, just a moment. It's important to state that majority of the power that is exported is actually hydroelectric power. Okay, that's the reason why inability to buy fuel is less of a problem, right? And and by the way, they are selling it at about half of how much it's costing them to, how much they are selling power to the national grid, to to the national grid. The national grid is paying about twice as much as these foreign countries are paying for the power. Okay, and it's mostly hydroelectric power that's being exported. Okay, that's the reason why, even though we can't buy fuel for ourselves, they can still export power to these countries. And if the president is saying that the solution to the problem is to curtail the export so that we can have it nationally, then isn't that a 100% guarantee that at least the president believes that it's a generation problem?
Yeah, let me just say, we're talking about severally and several times. We're mentioning lawyers. Yes, legally, yes, severally is separately rather than as a member of a group. So you can say that, the partners are jointly and severally responsible for the company's debts. Having said that, well, the president has made it very simple for all of you who are asking yourself the question, what could be the cause of this problem? He's told you that it's a generational problem. Because today, if you don't have a shortfall, you would not be in, discussions as to whether to reduce exports or suspend exports to neighboring countries. But this is the point. We know that we have a contract with Gas to give us 110 standard cubic feet of a million, cubic feet of gas. They give us 55 million. That's what they're giving us as we speak. They don't give us 110 million because they can't give us 110 million. I mean, people would say, why don't you insist? Well, that's a conversation for another day. And so we're unable to get that gas. So there's a shortfall of some 55 million cubic feet of gas, which means you must buy fuel, oil. If you can't get gas, you must buy oil to actually power these plants. We're unable to buy. So the whole problem, the whole generation problem is financial as it was in the past. And so it is today. It's a money problem.
You know that's some money palaver.
Money palaver. We can look for that one by the late George Daku. That is the problem. And so, we've been calling on, these people must speak this. Yeah, they must explain the problems to us. But if we need the solution would come from the Energy Ministry and the Finance Ministry.
That's true.
If they are prepared to release funds, my brother, my sister, we will not be where we are today. And so the president talking about, let's get till. These are all part of this whole thing about, proffering excuses and all of that.
Temporal solutions to a permanent problem.
So if you're giving them, for me, what I'm concerned about is the generation mix. So whether it's solar, whether it's hydro, whether it's thermal, they all would come together. If you decide to export some to neighboring countries, fine. If you decide not to export, fine. But this is the point. The point is that how come in this country called Ghana, all of us decided that we must pay realistic prices for electricity, and having started paying realistic prices for electricity since last year, we are still in a position where we cannot buy fuel? That's what I don't understand.
Don't forget that before all of that, we even had this energy sector levy and all of this.
Yes.
And in fact, there was an energy sector, plan. A plan put in place to level up our debts.
Yeah, by
and
paying
make sure
more
that,
taxes on it.
Indeed. And make sure that we never fall into this again. Yes. So that failed?
Yes.
Look.
Increasing the tariffs failed. We have done over 100% increase in tariffs between last year and this year.
I don't understand.
And the energy minister can still wear sunglasses and come and tell us that we are the ones who wish evil. You have a simple job. A simple job. Superintend this sector and make it work. We are paying. Give us light. Simple job like this you can't do. But we are evil.
Okay, I get you. So even though the explanation might not make sense to me, or there are some difficulties to understand this curtail and other conversations around it, I am just happy that what they are saying means we are going to get power. Consistent, reliable power. No excuses.
Yeah.
No excuses. Yeah. Consistent, reliable power. No explanations again. Because explanations do not buy anything.
If it was demonka, you are demoing.
Yeah.
But do the job you can't do. And it's all because of money.
justice. And related to that is the biggest story on the front page. Alleged 12-year-old marriage at Nungwa. Attorney General orders investigation. And many had applauded this as a very good move. Now they are telling us that the girl, she is 16 and not 12. So the religion and culture minister is going to make some changes to it so that's also do some investigations to find out. And let's be clear, you can't marry anybody at 16 either. But they also explained that now the marriage, it was to deity, not to the human being, not to the 63-year-old, but it was to the deity.
Yes.
That is what. So, but all of that should be investigated so that we get to the bottom of it anyway. Now, Maiden Regional Sanitation ranking out in May, and WASI registration fees remain free. That's the GES Director General speaking there.
Now, the daily guide for this morning: passport fees up, ban rush for a Jesu seat. Oh, I see. Abolish traditions that endanger children. That's according to Child Rights International. Bawumia commends IGP, and gold exhibition opens in Germany.
And BOG is hopeful of CD rebound. There's also current account improves, records a surplus of $0.46 billion US dollars, and tax amnesty promise. Finance experts, school businesses not to be expectant. That is related to the vice president because his picture is on the front page anyway.
The Ghanaian Times for this morning: WASI registration for free SHS students. Government absolves fees for all. GES urges parents, guardians not to pay. And CRI leads campaign to dissolve.
Government does what?
Absorbs fees for all.
Did they mean to say absorbs?
Absolves. That's what it puts here. But that's what you're right. I mean, GES urges parents and guardians not to pay. And CRI leads campaign to dissolve marriage between 12-year-old and 63-year-old man. Okay, we've talked about that. And Parliament approved 6.87 billion for NHIA. Mixed reactions greet increase in cost of Ghanaian passport acquisition. All on the front page of the Ghanaian Times.
Now, a pastor, ICGC pastor, dispels religious bias in Ghana's leadership. The pastor's name is Kujo. That's supposed to be referenced here.
Anthony Kujo.
Yes, Anthony Kujo, senior pastor of ICGC Calvary Temple, which appears to be on the Sprintex Road. He's the one saying that it's not only Christians that can run the country effectively. I'm not sure you know the source of that. And Zipline delivers 18.6 million items and vaccines, and passport fees hikes sparks outcry. The minister has actually inaugurated Greater Accra Regional Lands Office. Hopefully that will put to an end the land problems in the region.
That will not put to an end anything. All right, let's go online. The online review is brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest, Goyle Good Energy, and G&J Technical Services, celebrating 30 years of providing backup power in Ghana.
And the Zenith Fanofom promotion is on. Sign up for a free Zenith MasterCard from now till April 30, 2024, and at any Zenith Bank branch nationwide, and enjoy up to 2 free deliveries each month when you use your card on Glovo from now until October 20, 2024. With a Zenith MasterCard, you can conveniently make everyday purchases on POS device, withdraw funds from ATMs, and pay for goods and services online. Get your free Zenith MasterCard from the nearest Zenith Bank branch today and enjoy this amazing offer. Visit zenithbank.com.gh for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
All right then. So on myjoyonline.com this morning, girl married to priest is not 12. She turns 16 in July. Guess who's clarifying this?
The minister?
The chieftaincy minister.
Yes.
As if it makes a difference.
It says more recent information.
As if it makes any difference.
And as if it makes it less despicable anyway.
Anyway, all right. The BBC News now, brought to us by Fidelity Bank, believe with us, and Old Mutual, 10 years of greatness in Ghana, here for a lifetime.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
What name brightens the streets, homes, and businesses of Ghana? What company has been providing world-class backup power to Ghanaians for 30 years?
G&J Technical Services.
Final answer?
Yes, G&J, final answer.
Correct.
G&J is celebrating 30 years of providing backup power in Ghana. As the largest supplier of world-class generators in the country, we have been the backbone of Ghana's alternative power industry by delivering the best sales, maintenance, and after-sales solutions the nation has ever seen. We've done it for 30 years, and we promise that the future will be even brighter. Reach us in Accra on 030-268-9178 or 9179 and 020-222-2204 all the way to 2220. And in Kumasi on 020-222-236 or 020-222-2220.
When the pain is too much, don't know what else to do. So rapping all, will take the pain away. Rapping all,
Rapinol is what you need. Rapinol will relieve you of all aches and pain in your body. Rheumatic pain, menstrual pain, body pain, toothaches, and other feverish conditions. Rapinol is a quality product from Danex iTunes Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. Not suitable for children below 16 years old, asthmatic, and ulcer patients. This advert is FDA approved.
Dear business owner, congrats on not giving up on your business. You deserve a medal, and your business deserves to be taken to the next level. In fact, it's about time you run a Zenith Bank SME account so you and your business can enjoy the perks of the Zenith SME Business Card. Oga and Oga Madam status.
The Zenith SME Business Card is a Visa debit card for making secure payments for goods and services. Enjoy great benefits such as free customized digital SME training, free marketing toolkits, access to Visa practical skills training, and more. Unlock the potential of your business today. Visit any Zenith Bank branch nationwide and sign up for the Zenith SME Business Card, the ultimate payment solution for SMEs. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com.gh or call 0302-680-884 or 0307-086-370. Zenith Bank, in your best interests.
I do apologise. Thank you so much for being with us, though. That's Jeremy Bowen, international editor in Northern Israel.
This is the BBC World Service, exploring the dilemma of an ageing population.
In the advances over the last few decades, we've increased lifespan, but we have not increased health span.
Welcome to the Oxford Literary Festival. I'm Nuala McGovern, with Nobel Prize winner Venki Ramakrishnan.
Beyond 110, we're rapidly reaching the limits of our natural biology.
Forward Thinking, Sunday at 11 GMT. Business Daily is in 30 minutes.
We'll be looking into the business of scent, how perfume evolved into a multi-billion-dollar juggernaut, and why the powerhouse fragrances of the 1980s gave way to more artisanal creations. Plus, we'll hear what goes into creating the scent of a thunderstorm.
This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
Coming up after the news from the BBC World Service, it's Hard Talk with me, Stephen Sacker. We humans keep pushing the frontiers of bioscience. We understand the molecular biology that makes us who we are. Well, my guest is the ethicist, social scientist and writer Tom Shakespeare, who also happens to live with a genetic condition, achondroplasia. Should we screen all human embryos for genetic abnormalities to root out mutations? Are we sleepwalking into a new era of eugenics?
I support a woman's right to choose. Selective termination, it's their right. However, I want them to make that decision knowing what it's like to have Down syndrome, achondroplasia, i.e. knowing that it need not be a limiting factor. It need not explain the whole of your life.
That's Tom Shakespeare on Hard Talk after the news.
Hello, I'm Moira Alderson with the BBC News. There have been calls in Britain for London to stop selling arms to Israel following the killing of 7 aid workers in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza. The Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, said he was appalled by the Israeli attack. Graham Satchell reports.
World Central Kitchen was providing vital food aid in Gaza, supplying millions of meals. The consequences of the attack will be felt here first. The charity has paused its operations, putting immediate stress on an already desperate situation. There has been global condemnation. America described the attack as an outrage. Britain said the deaths were completely unacceptable. Australia has demanded accountability. Pressure is growing at home and abroad. But so far, the Israeli government has been impervious to calls for a ceasefire and is determined to continue its fight against Hamas.
Taiwan's government says at least 7 people have died and more than 700 people have been injured after an offshore earthquake struck the eastern coast of the island. It was the most powerful to hit the island in 25 years. Rupert Wingfield Hayes is in Taipei.
We do have reports of deaths and injuries. Those appear to have come from landslides which have been unleashed right along the east coast of Taiwan. The difference between here in Taipei and the west coast of Taiwan and the east of the island is dramatic. It's very rugged over there, it's very mountainous, there are narrow valleys and the mountains come down right into the Pacific Ocean. And this quake has unleashed many, many landslides that have cut roads, that have brought down bridges, and we think have also buried some people.
Thailand's Constitutional Court says it's accepted a petition seeking the dissolution of the Move Forward Party over their campaign pledge to reform the kingdom's tough royal defamation laws. The court had ruled in January that the plan to amend the law was unconstitutional and was tantamount to an attempt to overthrow the government, with the king as head of state. Move Forward rejected the charge. Police in India say at least 13 Maoist rebels have been killed in the state of Chhattisgarh during an anti-insurgency operation. It comes just weeks before the general election. From Delhi, Anbarasan Etirajan reports.
Indian officials say it's one of the heaviest losses suffered by the Maoist rebels in recent years. The left-wing insurgents say they are fighting for the rights of the indigenous communities and the rural poor, who they say are being exploited by private corporations in the mineral-rich region. The insurgency began in the 1960s and has cost thousands of lives, but the violence has dropped drastically in the last decade. Human rights groups accuse the security forces of arbitrary arrests, torture and unlawful killings during previous operations, a charge denied by the authorities.
World News from the BBC. The newly inaugurated president of Senegal, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, has named the leader of the biggest opposition party as his prime minister. Ousmane Sonko is President Faye's left-wing political mentor, with both men supporting Pan-Africanism and getting rid of Senegal's Euro-linked CFA franc. Mr Sonko had originally been named as the opposition's presidential candidate until he was arrested and ruled ineligible to stand, a move that sparked protests. The US government has asked the space agency NASA to devise a unified standard of time for the moon. The White House said it was vital as nations and private companies race to establish a more permanent lunar presence. Helena Humphrey reports.
It's the latest frontier in the space race, a clock developed specifically for the moon. Currently, any countries venturing there use their own time zones when performing missions. But coordinated lunar time, as the US calls it, would provide a benchmark for spacecraft and satellites that require extreme precision. Coming up with it will be no small task. Less gravity on the moon means time there moves slightly quicker than it does on Earth. US scientists aren't the only ones working on the system. The European Space Agency also has plans for its own moon clock.
The top law officer in Peru has said a corruption investigation into President Dina Boluarte over her unexplained ownership of expensive Rolex watches has been widened. The Attorney General told a congressional commission that police were studying photographs of the president wearing a Cartier bracelet and other jewellery. Mrs. Boluarte has claimed the watches and jewellery were the fruit of a lifetime of work. The former Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, widely regarded as the architect of India's economic reforms, is retiring from Parliament after more than 3 decades. Mr. Singh became the finance minister in 1991 when the country was facing a severe economic crisis, before serving 2 terms as Prime Minister. BBC News.
Welcome to Hard Talk from the BBC World Service with me, Stephen Sacker. My guest today has led a...
There are some classy celebrations that calls for whipping out your favorite China sets. Same goes for your luxury vehicle. Just any engine oil won't do. Premium understands premium best. The new Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties is the one for your premium car. It's a fully synthetic motor oil designed using the Shell Pure Plus technology. Prevents dirt buildup with exceptional cleaning power, leaving your pistons cleaner than a whistle, up to 50% more than the industry standard, and gives you stronger, long-lasting engine performance. So, if you want your classic car to run smoothly like a Ferrari for years to come, use the Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties. Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP, designed for ultimate engine performance.
Great news is here. Batmat is here again. XXL clearance sale. Guaranteed savings. From now till the end of April, the big sale continues. Get discounts of up to 70% off sanitary wares, light tiles, waterproofing, and all other product families. It's the year to get things done. Visit our showroom at the North Industrial Area next to the Winners Chapel, Ghana. Don't miss out. Batmat, welcome home.
Are you tired of the daily commute to work during rush hour? Or maybe you're planning a girls' night out and need a reliable ride. Perhaps you need to deliver an important parcel and want to get there on time. Whatever your reason for commuting, Access Bank and Uber have got you covered. With Access Bank Visa Card, you can now enjoy 30% off Uber rides. That's 30% off every ride. Use promo code Access Ride Savings to enjoy affordable, convenient, and cheaper rides even on a limited budget. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to save big on your daily commute. Visit our website www.ghana.accessbankplc.com or social media today to learn more and start enjoying and saving on your Uber rides like never before. Access Visa Card, the perfect partner for your Uber rides. Access Bank, more than banking.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
chanced upon a couple of freebays, so we took them and I tried it, and trust me, I was like a moonraker. I saw myself like an angel suspended in the air.
When you get on any drug, it can give you some amazing energy and some creative geniuses that just boost you like this.
Anytime that anyone uses any of these drugs or substances of abuse, the brain itself gets affected.
They tell you that drugs will enlarge your creative horizon. There are so many things that you can create and do that under normal circumstances you will not be able to. And surprisingly, there's some truth to it.
They are inquisitive. They want to unfold or uncover, release things that somebody will be like, wow, how did he get to that frequency?
And when they stand on stage, they mesmerize us.
So alcohol still continues to remain the most predominantly used substance or drug for that matter. Cannabis comes soon after that in our setting, where people use and are able to get at very cheap prices, 2 CDs, 5 CDs, and they are good to go. They still enjoy their high.
Produced by Kwame Daze, today's Hotline documentary, Creative Addictions, is such an interesting insight into the concerns and the worries around how much creative people tend to have addictive personalities and the things they get addicted to and the effect it has on them, their social lives, their family. People lose careers, people lose family members, people lose their lives, just because of these addictions. But what fuels it? What fuels it? Why is it that there are more addicted people amongst the creatives than, say, doctors or nurses, teachers or professors? I mean, is there not pressure to perform well in those professions too? So what is it about the creative space that it makes it such a fertile ground for addiction?
2016, there was some research done by Australian psychologists. I mean, of course, this was widespread. The researchers believe that the people who are in the creative space are more prone to becoming addicted to drugs. The theory is premised on the belief that due to some people having what's mostly known as an addictive personality, which is estimated to be about 10 to 15% of even the American population. And it's more predominant in the creative industry. While there's been extensive effort injected at trying to fix this problem, in fact, the research says that many aspects of drug addiction are still unknown, with researchers continue to examine reasons why some people get addicted and others do not. But there are several issues they raise here. They say because it enables a certain attempt to break free, think out of the box, that this addictive personality then gets them hooked onto a certain drug routine which aids them. So the stop element is not there. The control over this one, I've exceeded it and I no longer should take this amount, or I can no longer do this. It has to actually be removed. And they say it's a personality that's developed within the creative person, which aids them in performing their roles, but then also makes them more liable or more prone to actually being addicted to drugs. Yeah. There are subsequent studies that said this shows to a limited extent how some do. Others also trace it purely to environmental factors, that it's the environment they find themselves, the people they connect with, and the likelihood that they are likely to be people that serious drug people will target, so that they are more likely to spread or also be in the case to share with other people. So there are several ones, but this has been perhaps the most comprehensive study suggesting an addictive personality that creative people have.
I'm sure all of you may have heard of these statements, buy a lawyer, and I said, Tolite go and so.
That's a new one.
Tolite ECG. So, I'm just saying these because it would actually tell you why the people do the things they do. Years ago at the University of Cape Coast, was it Music for Your Dancing Feet or something? They used to, go around, and it was a graduation ceremony. Now, there was this group that was coming to perform. But they were backstage. We were waiting for them. So I decided to go and check what they were doing. I wasn't the organizer. When I went, Charlie, they were holding 2 bottles of liquor, drinking it in a hurry before they get on stage. Because these guys could not just come on stage and perform. And that's where it starts from, for many of them. So the usual, get a lawyer. So get a lawyer means you're not the one performing. Yeah. You know this whole thing about when you go to court, lawyer be dima mama, that kind of thing. So when you get a lawyer, it's your lawyer that is doing all
activates an alter ego.
Yes, so he does everything for you. And you're right. But here we are. There are a lot of people who think that these addictions are just to marijuana or whatever illegal substances. The truth is that some addictions are actually to legal substances.
Indeed.
And alcohol is a drug that people are addicted to.
Very big one.
Alcohol is legal.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of people. And that's where, for some people, that's where it actually starts from. They take these, and over time, they just can't get off it.
Yeah.
And that becomes the beginning of their problems.
It's funny. I listened to a neurosurgeon explain how the brain works. And the part of your brain that creates things is very different from the part of your brain that remembers things. Okay, so when you're telling a lie, your eyes go up and to the left because you are accessing a part of your brain that creates. If you are telling the truth, your eyes go up and to the right because you're accessing a part of your brain that recalls facts. Okay, so those who create, they are always living in that left part of their brain. Okay, and that part of their brain requires you to escape or leave reality behind and go into a space where you can create your own reality. Create a new song, create a new movie, write a new book. Creatives have to take leave of reality in order to be good at their jobs. And sometimes they find these drugs an easy and quick path to exit reality. And unfortunately, these things take control over you. You don't control them. And before you know it, all kinds of problems. Today's documentary is one you really, really have to pay attention to. Very interesting stuff. Also today on the Super Morning Show, we started yesterday to ask a few questions about demurrage being calculated on some tiles that are being brought in to do a humanitarian job of refurbishing the old blocks at Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. Something government should have done, couldn't do. The Otumfuo Foundation has decided to take it upon themselves and get it done. All they need is a waiver on the import duty. And for some reason, that hasn't happened. Yesterday, this is part of what we learned.
The completion of the project is not only the tiles that has is going to delay. We are bringing in electrical, we are bringing in plumbing materials and other things also to go through this. It is our wish that we could have been able to complete at least 3 floors to, as it were, for His Majesty to commission as part of his anniversary celebration.
Now, you're about a week into the incurring of demurrage, am I right?
Yes, please.
This thing is costing you money. You said it's costing about, how much per day?
It's about $150 per day for a container.
Wow. And you have how many containers?
We have 10.
That's $1,500 per day.
Yes, please. $1,500 for the day.
So this charitable work that you sought to do is now incurring a cost. I mean, after how many days will your money pretty much run out? How many more days can you afford?
It's not even about affordability. At least we are, and then the little that we have received from the ordinary Ghanaians and a few corporate organizations, we cannot be ungrateful. We are about 39% of our $10 million target. However, I find it a bit unfortunate to spend 1.8 million cedis of that amount to clear these items from the port. That is where we are.
Ideally, the expectation, and you see, this is one of the instances where your citizenship is challenged. You do not know why anybody that you've given state power to will behave this way. So let's pretend that they are the ones with all the power in the country, and that they really have an extraordinarily good reason for doing what they are doing. So we can only pretend we are pleading with them, even though it doesn't make sense. This is not conduct you put up when you have failed in your responsibility and somebody is actually helping you out on that. Now, the person helping you now has become a problem for them. The person helping you now to stall a project because you're unable to do your bit, merely facilitating this, something you do for others when it has pecuniary interest to the people who are actually approving these things. And we know, we have the history. We know how they do it for some of these hotels and the so-called 1D, 1F and all the other things that they talk about. This is an urgent matter. Every day that you delay it, it's not only costing the people money, but you are wasting the resources that the people of this republic have garnered together to fill that role you are supposed to play. Nobody with conscience in government will let this slide for another day. That we are still in a new day and nobody has officially responded. That nobody has actually come out to say. I was expecting that maybe they had slipped under the radar. So the finance ministry now said, we have traced the letter. Please, we are so sorry that this happened in the first place and we want to now fix it quickly. How do we go from here? It's been almost 24 hours. No statement. No major person in the republic has come out to say, we are sorry for not facilitating your quest to do our job for us. This is shameful. And nobody should be excited by this. There's no better dereliction of duty than what they are doing in this case.
I came across a post on Facebook, the usual, foot soldier mentality. A few people talking about how these joy presenters cry. Why are they so angry? There is a process. There is a process for getting a tax waiver. And that process must start before your items even arrive at the ports. Blah, 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 blah. So the government of Ghana hasn't done anything. I read the posts and I still asked myself, does this explain why after 3 months the Ministry of Finance hasn't even acknowledged receipt of the letter? What about the stuff that hasn't arrived? What are they doing about that? So why do people even want to turn this thing into, why defend this? Why defend this?
Kojo, we have been in this country where tax waivers have gone to Parliament under urgency.
Yes.
And so, look.
They stay too late in the night to approve it.
Let's, sometimes when things happen like that, we should have followed due process. We should have, I know. Due process makes provision for urgent situations.
Yes.
And so nobody is saying that due process shouldn't be followed. If it's one that must go to Parliament, why not? It should go to Parliament and have Parliament approve it. But this is the point.
Now, acknowledging the letter, is that not due process?
Now, this is the point. The chairman of the committee makes the point that they actually wanted 10 million Ghana cedis, right? 10 million Ghana cedis. They've raised 39% of that money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means they've actually raised 3.9 million.
Almost 4 million.
Ghana cedis.
Yes.
For purposes of argument, let's say 4 million. Now, they're supposed to pay 1.7, 1.8 million.
On demurrage.
As, the duty.
Oh, okay, the duty that's supposed to be charged.
Yeah. So they take it off. They are left with 2.2 million, 2.1 million. To do what? First of all, this project should have been done by government.
Yeah.
Government hasn't done it. The King of Asante says, I want to do it as a way of commemorating my 25th anniversary as king. In fact, government should have been supporting him.
Very grateful.
You'd be grateful by even contributing some. So, I don't have all the money, you take some.
Yeah.
But even when it comes to the waivers of taxes, it's a problem. I said it yesterday, and I repeat it. If we can not only find money and invest in a private hotel, grant them tax waivers, this is something we should have done 2 months ago.
Priorities.
We should be doing it. By close of today, members of parliament should be writing to the speaker. About 40 of them should be writing to the speaker.
Yeah.
Putting pressure. In fact, the health minister designate should be running to the finance minister. Head minister, Dr. Okuboy, should run to the finance minister, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adams, getting parliament to come and sit down and consider this. It is very, very important. Let us not play with. You see, I said it yesterday. In developed nations, what they think about most is their life expectancy, how they are able to improve the general well-being of the people in this country. Even the things that we think about the most, that I built hospital, that today you can have a regional minister say that the mother and child facility that was spearheaded by the First Lady after Joy News had done a documentary is part of the government's project.
Imagine that.
Would that not make more sense for you to go and complete this one?
So it's one of the biggest projects by government.
Signature project.
Yeah, signature.
If that's a signature project.
In fact, it's the first that came to mind for the man.
Yes. If that's a signature project,
we are not even
then
ashamed.
this will be a double signature project.
Yes.
We are not
you
even
should be
ashamed.
happy to actually be partnering the Otunfo to do this.
So that I can claim it later on. After what?
You know what? All right, look, there's lots to be done on the show this morning. Let's not start with blood pressure. Today, you're going to hear Kwame Dazi produced, the documentary produced by Kwame Dazi, Creative Addictions.
Wake up to joy, joy, joy. Sunshine and joy in the morning time. Yeah. Wake up to the super morning show. Yeah. Wake up to joy, joy, joy in the morning. Yeah. If you're turning on your radio, go for some joy in the morning. On the super morning show.
Welcome to the Joy Super Morning Show.
All right, G&J, your reliable alternative backup power solutions provider, is 30 years old. Now, they would like to thank all of you, cherished partners and customers, for being part of this journey. Now, as they embrace the future with brighter hopes, they look forward to providing you with the best backup power service to your homes, offices, churches, and more. Now, they're still the largest backup power supplier in the country, and with their 24-hour service delivery, they're poised to give you the best brands in backup power and after-sales service. You can find G&J in Accra off the Mortuary Road to Kolebu. Now, you can call G&J on 0302-689-178 or 0302-689-179. You can also try 020-2222-204. Alrighty then.
Now to the businessman, trader, and parents sending money to loved ones and business partners. Thanks to the Access Bank and PAPS partnership, you can now send money across border hassle-free. Now you can send money to pay for goods and services, make business transactions, and cover school fees across Africa without worrying about foreign exchange losses or delays. It's straightforward, secure, and keeps your mind at ease. Benefit from instant payments across Nigeria, Liberia, Gambia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone with zero foreign exchange hassle. When you send money in cedis, it will be received in another currency by the recipient. No middleman dollar. For more information, visit our website ghana.accessbankplc.com or call our toll-free 0800 004400. For your cross-border payments, visit any of our branches and PAPS. It's with Access Bank. Access Bank, more than banking.
And a poorly maintained car engine can age faster. That's why we offer specially formulated quartz engine oil with age resistance technology. It's a breakthrough innovation that ensures optimal performance for your engine and improves protection against mechanical wear by up to 74%, even under extreme temperatures and pressure. Choosing quartz from Total Energies is choosing the engine oil that keeps your engine running efficiently and effectively. Quartz keep your engine younger for longer.
All right, great news. Batimat is here again. Now, it's the XXL clearance sale. Guaranteed savings. All the products in the showroom are up to 70% off between now and the end of April 2024. So that's 70% off several products. You can carry out all of your construction projects this year with complete peace of mind. Don't miss this opportunity. It is the year to get things done. Batimat is home to some of the best brands in building solutions. They are the leading distributors of Legrand electrical products. So that's distribution boards, enclosures, switches, switches and sockets, breakers, and so forth. They also have the best waterproofing solutions and chemicals for your building projects. Other products include tiles, lights, office furniture, sanitary ware, bathroom accessories, and so much more. Enjoy great discounts on all of these items. It's price craziness at Batimat between now and the 30th of April 2024. Go visit their showroom, which is at the North Industrial Area next to Winners Chapel, Ghana, and close to ECG Aveno. Call them on 054 431 4553. Don't miss out. Batimat, welcome home.
Now, it's difficult to keep good news yourself, because you know that, right? Every time good news is supposed to be shared, especially when it can transform your life and those close to you. SG Ghana went low on interest rates last year, and we all heard that. We kept on announcing it here. This year, they are even lower. Yes, yeah, Tusu Biom. And of course, we still can attest to it that are you an SG Ghana customer?
Fantastic.
Or you're on the controller accountant general's payroll, then get the money you need to turn your dreams into a reality. If you are Aaron who is always looking for money to buy that building, visit any SG Ghana branch near you and speak to our dedicated staff about the amazing Yatisu Bio loans available today. Can also call 0302 214 314 for more details. 0302 214 314. Offer runs to the 7th of June 2024. Terms and conditions apply. SG Ghana, the future is you.
Now, if you ever tried to push a pull door, you know it doesn't work, right? Same goes for when you put the wrong engine oil in your luxury vehicle. Let me introduce to you Shell Helix Ultra OW20 SP, specially formulated with a unique Shell Pure Plus technology that actively helps lubricate and clean your engine, giving you premium car peak performance. Shell Helix Ultra OW20 SP provides unsurpassed wear and sludge protection, leaves your pistons cleaner than a whistle, up to 50% more than the industry standard, and enhanced fuel economy. Shell Helix Ultra OW20 SP is designed to be safe for the environment with a significant reduction in carbon emissions. You know that premium rolls best with premium, so try it yourself. Get Shell Helix Ultra OW20 SP made for premium today.
Yeah, I definitely like to clean my pistons. All right, now Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited is still your #1 supplier of quality office essentials, equipment and furniture. Not forgetting stationery. And their prices are great. You can pay via Momo across all networks, and they will deliver to your home or office in very good time. Free delivery for those of you in Accra or Tema. Terms and conditions do apply at Kingdom. Quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
And Toyota users, get ready for a revolution. If you want your Toyota engine to function optimally, then there's only one choice, the Toyota Genuine Motor Oil. The Toyota Genuine Motor Oil has been rigorously tested and proven to be the best oil for your Toyota engine, especially crafted to keep your Toyota engine running smoothly and efficiently. The Toyota Genuine Motor Oil is available at all Toyota Ghana branches across the nation. Nothing makes your engine happier than Toyota Genuine Motor Oil. For bulk purchase or distribution, contact Toyota Ghana on 0302 429801. Toyota, superior quality.
All right, let's get to it. And of course, coming up, sports and all of your birthdays right here on the Super Morning Show.
Imagine strutting into the most anticipated wedding of the year. Only to see 7 other girls wearing your exact same outfit.
You are special and one of a kind, and that's why whether it's voice, data or SMS, you get to enjoy personalized offers tailored to your specific needs with MTN just for you. Dial *141# or select your options on the My MTN app to redeem your unique just for you package on Ghana's best mobile network. MTN.
Have you ever thought of the one that makes you complete? An escape from the clutches of interest charges. With the Standard Chartered Visa debit and credit cards, payments are completed at the speed of light, intertwined with interest-earning accounts. You also get unbelievable rewards every time you swipe. You have access to over 1,200 airport lounges worldwide. High credit limits of up to 100,000 Ghana cedis and up to 50 days interest-free with our credit cards. You also get to enjoy full multi multi-trip travel insurance for 90 days. Fees discounted at your feet. With our globally partnered merchant points, bills are always settled, not battled. Get the Standard Chartered debit and credit card now. Call toll-free on 0800 740 100 or 0302 740 100 or reach us via email on feedback.ghana@sc.com. Standard Chartered, here for good.
To you. All right, birthday messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by
MTN.
Everywhere you go. And Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group,
As close as a partner.
All right, whose birthday is it?
Well, today is the birthday of Professor Osafo. Okay, could you know Professor Osafo?
University of Ghana Psychology
Exactly,
Department.
Joseph Osafo.
Yeah.
So it's the birthday of the head of the psychology department of the University of Ghana, Professor Joseph Osafo, who's a wonderful teacher, a great man of God, and this is coming from all your students and former students to you, and of course from all of us here or at the multimedia group, particularly those of us on the Super Morning Show team to you. Prof, enjoy your day.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. All right, happy birthday to Mina Yeboah, David Nana Safusian, Stanley Dagadu, Eko Simpson, Odi Tete, Adom Aqua Abeku, Brima Duke of Wasipe. Oh, nice name. Tete Tetefio, Rita Dakwa Okansi, Kojo Mensa Emisa, Peter Joyce Sewonu, Muhammad Abubakar Ture, Selassie Kunucho, my friend from Ogasco, and Sharon Bunso Bruce. All right, then, the Joy Sports Center is brought to you by
MTN. Everywhere you go.
Standard Chartered Bank,
Here for good.
DSTV,
It's your moment.
Twisco Energy Food Drink, Twisco,
Power your dream.
and Bet Power.
And did you know that MTN Momo now has an app? Yes, MTN Momo has a brand new app specially designed to make your Momo experience easier, convenient, and faster. Just download the Momo app on Play Store or App Store on your smartphone and look out for the blue and yellow icon. It's that simple. Momo app allows you to view your statements, pay bills, and so much more. Use the app for your Momo transactions and enjoy a 100% bonus when you recharge using the Momo app. So go on, download the Momo app now and start transacting with a Flex at no data cost. Just Momo it everywhere you go.
So, folks, imagine a world where your home or business is powered by the sun's boundless energy. I mean, picture your rooftop transformed into a solar sanctuary, radiating with eco-friendly vibes and city-saving brilliance. Well, dream no more. With Standard Chartered's renewable energy loans, you can turn this dream into a dazzling reality. And guess what? Our renewable energy loans come at very low rates. That's right. We're not just offering loans, we are offering the keys to your solar-powered kingdom. Say goodbye to high electricity bills and step into a new world where every watt generated is a step towards a brighter, more sustainable future. So if you're ready to take control of your energy destiny and switch to solar today, give us a shout on any of the following phone lines: 050-153-5789 or 050-153-5790. There's also the 0244-674-154. Let's chart a course for a brighter tomorrow and make your solar dreams shine brighter than ever. Standard Chartered, here for good.
Here for sports. And speaking of brightness, after going through 6 years of darkness, Kwesi Nyantakyi is seeking illumination, charting a new path. We'll bring you details of that on today's Joy Sports Center with me, Achud Samaklin. We're starting with the former president of the Ghana Football Association, Kwesi Nyantakyi. He has alleged that he paid an amount of $100,000 to investigative journalist Anas Aremia Anas, ostensibly to kill the release of the number 12 documentary that ultimately led to his removal from office. In June 2018, Anas released an investigative piece which captured the 55-year-old along with several other football administrators and officials compromising the integrity of the game at a monumental scale. Nyantakyi resigned from all of his roles at the GFA, CAF and FIFA and was eventually handed a lifetime ban from football, which was later reduced to 15 years. However, according to the former CAF vice president, Anas demanded an amount of $150,000 through his lawyers to kill the story, but he could only come up with $100,000. Nyantakyi made his comments in a Teledol interview with Onia TV, where he also confirmed he will be contesting the NPP primary in the Edreso constituency.
Osheni oya ode pesca mano na se me media no omo charge me say me $150,000 ma ayi akwai ma me money me modi inda me colleague na me no executive committee Adam Munkaila of Fitamale.
Okay.
Onno oba me nchen ede me call Kwame Jan lawyer no chira de olego no.
Okay.
E no ka chem say Anas abeka me case no wan sama chire no. No, you're a student. Into also pesika do say me the bar. But they make on fee. Also, baby fee. I say ni say. Me go first say Emra. I just a blackmail. What you say?
So Anas demanded $150,000
through these people, through them.
So if you had paid that,
me try 100,000. Me 200,000. Almost say so. And so you know. Me not imagine you me say. No,
but I say we won't catch me.
I mean catch order.
150,000 Anas demanded from you. Would try 100,000?
100,000. Emma Kwame Jan. Enti I didn't buy no na me frɛ Alaji Munkala say kachi. Famisi kabreme. Ade a this card koye no. Amaso. Na sika na omo refund ama me no. And 20,000 or 10,000 sa. Asempa na me kachiro no.
Anas beje $100,000
through the lawyer no. Yes.
Well, so what Kwesi Nyantakyi was basically saying was that Anas Aremia Anas, that's what he does for the purpose of money. And he uses his personal experience, which he claims that Adam Munkaila back in 2018 approached him and informed him that there was this investigative piece, and so introduced him to then law lecturer at the University of Ghana, Professor Kwame Jan, who said that Anas was a student and had come up with this material and was demanding $150,000 to kill the story. He said he paid an amount of $100,000 through Adam Munkaila and Kwame Jan to Anas. But unfortunately, they said the amount was not enough, and so Anas proceeded to air the documentary. Kwesi Nyantakyi claims that after the documentary aired, he had to go back to Anas and take back his money because the purpose for which the money was paid was not actually actioned or realized, and says the money was paid in different tranches. The first installment came in $40,000, and then they paid the others in different tranches. So that's basically the essence of what Kwesi Nyantakyi was saying in that interview yesterday. But this has drawn a strong-worded response from private investigative firm Tiger IPI and Anas Aremia Anas himself. They have categorically denied any involvement in soliciting or accepting bribes from Kwesi Nyantakyi prior to the publication of the number 12 documentary. Here are excerpts of the statement read to you by Joy Sports' Lawrence Baidu.
Mr. Nyantakyi's assumption that such a priceless expose could be shelved by simply paying a $100,000 bribe is not only shocking, but also indicative of naivety. Mr. Nyantakyi, by his admission, is a self-confessed bribe giver and a bribe taker for attempting to bribe his way out of a painstaking investigation into his conduct. It should be noted that neither Tiger IPI nor Anas Aremia Anas engaged the services of a lawyer named Kwame Jan from the University of Ghana. Mr. Nyantakyi's desperation to evade accountability could only happen after the murder of the key witness for the state, Ahmed Swali, after his face was shown on national television.
Away from yesterday's mudslinging exercise, and former President John Dramani Mahama has promised to split the Youth and Sports Ministry if re-elected in the December polls. Currently, the ministry is a twin entity made up of sports and youth, with the National Sports Authority and the National Youth Authorities as their main agencies. However, the ministry's resources are largely swallowed by the salaries and compensations. Speaking at the outdooring of his party's youth wing, the NEC flag bearer said something had to change in the way the ministry was being run.
We're going to separate youth from sports because it's a youth and sports ministry. But over the years, what we know is that the concentration is just on sports. And even on sports, the concentration is just on the Black Stars. My vision for this ministry will be that it will focus on mainstreaming youth interest in all sectors of the economy. It will focus on mainstreaming youth interest in all sectors of the economy. But most of all, it will concentrate on rolling out strategies that will create jobs for young people.
Premier League action next.
Owen takes. Well, it's turned in by Kurt Zuma. Tottenham have an inquest, but they're not complaining to the referee, and it's 1-1.
Nearly a little bit of space for Semenyo, who has managed to get it away from Ozo. Now it's opened up, and there it is! Justin Kluivert finally breaks the deadlock.
Ghana's Antoine Semenyo came off the bench to assist Justin Kluivert to score the winning goal for Bournemouth as they edged Crystal Palace by a 1-0 at the Vitality Stadium. Antoine Semenyo now has 2 assists and 7 goals in the Premier League this term alone. Jordan Ayew was also subbed off after 70 minutes by Crystal Palace manager Oliver Glasner for his Ghanaian counterpart Jeffrey Schlupp. At the London Stadium, Mohamed Kudus played the entire game for West Ham as they secured a 1-1 draw coming from behind against Tottenham Hotspur. The Hammers captain Kurt Zuma headed in the leveller in the 19th minute after Brennan Johnson had opened the scoring 5 minutes into the match for Tottenham Hotspur. Zuma says the performance of West Ham was a good reaction to the Newcastle defeats over the weekend.
It was a very intense game today. Both teams wanted to win, and unfortunately we finished with a draw. We had a few chances at the end which could have done better maybe, but we gave so much energy in the game, especially after the game on Saturday. We had to react, and I think we react today. Also, the opposition make us, I would say, in a good difficulty as well. They're playing well, and we didn't start well, but I think the reaction was the thing that we have to take off from the game today.
Meanwhile, Tottenham Hotspur boss Ange Postecoglou is disappointed his side could not pick all 3 points to move into the top 4.
Like I said, I always felt like we were in control. They're always going to be a threat on the counter-attack and transition, but I thought we handled that pretty well. I don't think they really hurt us in any moment. But as you said, it was a lot of high energy that both teams sort of left it all out there, particularly when you think of the short turnaround. And we're obviously disappointed not to win, but it's a tough place to come to and win. So we'll take what we got.
Elsewhere, Dominic Calvert-Lewin converted a late penalty, cancel out Alexander Isak's opener as Everton drew 1-0 against Newcastle United at St James's Park. Nottingham Forest beat Fulham by 3-1 at the City Ground to move 3 points clear of the drop zone. Relegation candidates Burnley were also held to a 1-0 draw by Wolves at Turf Moor last night. Later today, Arsenal, they'll be looking to reclaim top spots when they host Luton Town at the Emirates Stadium at 6:30. Arsenal cannot afford to slip if they are to end their 20-year wait for a Premier League title. Ghana's manager Mikel Arteta says he's excited for the challenge coming up in the remaining 9 fixtures.
I'm really excited, but we have these discussions. When we play Liverpool, I remember at home months ago, it's a must win or not lose, because the title is over. That was 2 months ago, so it's always like that. When you look back in October and you feel the necessity to win and be there, and it's not going to change from now to the end. Obviously, the end is coming. 9 games is still a lot, and just embrace the moment, go game by game, and make sure we fully prepare for tomorrow to perform well.
Speaking of Arsenal, their title rivals Manchester City, they'll face Aston Villa at the Etihad later tonight. City boss Pep Guardiola has defended striker Erling Haaland following Roy Keane's criticism after Sunday's goalless draw with Arsenal. The ex-Man United captain said Haaland's general play is so poor and almost like a League Two player. Pep says he doesn't agree with Keane.
I'm not agree with him, absolutely at all. It's like he said, he's a manager for the second or third league. I don't think so. He's the best striker in the world, and he helped us to win what we won last season. And the reason why we don't create much chances not from Erling is we need more presence in the final third with more people. And we play an exceptional game. I reviewed the game against Arsenal, but just we miss more people in the final third. Maybe for the quality, different skills that we have, but Erling is exceptional.
Meanwhile, Brentford are engaging Brighton in the other fixture later today. That ends the Joy Sports Centre. My name is Achuta Maklu.
What is Pep Guardiola saying?
He says that he doesn't agree with Roy Keane's assessment of Erling Haaland. And he says if someone had said that Roy Keane is only good to be a manager at the League Two or Championship level, he wouldn't take kindly to that. So,
but Roy Keane actually managed in the Premier League.
Yeah, with Sunderland.
Yes. Yeah. So what's the big deal?
His way of fighting back in the name of protecting his striker.
But is it not true also that This guy is always missing in games, and the only time we see him is when he gets a goal. So where he can't get a goal, that's the end of it.
But also, there are queries about his general play.
That's the whole idea.
If he's not scoring. And you, beyond the fact that what Roy Keane says is true, you also have to appreciate what Roy Keane is used to, right? This guy was playing with Ruud van Nistelrooy, Dwight York, Andy Cole. Strikers who can actually do something with the ball, right, and be involved and then give you a bit more quality aside just being able to put the ball in the back of the net. So from that orientation, from being exposed to that level of quality, you can understand why he's unable to appreciate strikers like Erling Braut Haaland, who are unable to do much beyond being relevant inside the penalty box.
He's always in the penalty. This will be a replacement for Filippo Inzaghi.
Pippo Inzaghi.
Yes, you know, Ferguson said he was born in an offside position.
He was born offside.
Yeah, because that guy was always.
But you see, even for Pippo Inzaghi, he came alive in the big games. So you can remember his role in the Champions League finals. You can remember those games. Yeah. You can't say that for Erling Braut Haaland. That's the one big blot on his CV. Yeah.
Onya wolf team and Lodo.
AKA flat track bully.
Thank you very much. That guy, if he gets you, he will deal with you. Thank you very much, Victor Chutamakulu, for joining us with the latest in the world of sports. And still live here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And coming up this morning, it's a hotline documentary on creative addictions, and would love to hear from you here on the Super Morning Show.
They tell you that drugs will enlarge your creative horizon. There are so many things that you can create and do that under normal circumstances you will not be able to. And surprisingly, there's some truth to it.
And our social media messages brought to us by EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa, Provident Insurance with Provident Man You're Covered, and Malatu from NS Chemist for the effective treatment of malaria in both adults and children. When the pain is too much to bear, grab Rapinol, the rapid pain reliever. And you know, everyday people face different emergencies: police emergency, fire emergency, medical emergency, you name them. But many Ghanaians don't know the emergency numbers. Well, here's one you would always want to remember. *770#. Yes, *770# as the new EcoBank Money emergency number. And it gives you instant access to loans, fund transfers, utility payments, airtime, and data purchases. And so much more, even without data. So there's no need to panic when you find yourself in any money emergency. EcoBank will always come to your rescue. Dial *770# now for solutions to your money emergencies. EcoBank, a Pan-African bank. And you can now get your vehicle insured anywhere, anytime with Provident Insurances or buy on WhatsApp. She works around the clock, so you don't have to worry about closing times. I mean, babia. Buy, renew, file claims for your vehicle, babia. All you have to do is chat or buy on 0242 and 0242-426-396 and let her help you. It's quick, convenient, reliable, and saves you time so you can do more in your day. Chat or buy and get your vehicle insured now on Provident Insurance. So text your buyer, babia. With Provident, man, you're covered. And coming up on big stories this morning on the Super Morning Show.
They are inquisitive. They want to unfold or uncover, release things that somebody will be like, wow, how did he get to that frequency? And when they stand on stage, they mesmerize us.
So alcohol still continues to remain the most predominantly used substance or drug for that matter. Cannabis comes soon after that in our setting, where people use and are able to get at very cheap prices, 2 cedis, 5 cedis, and they are good to go. They still enjoy their high.
We were called upon to clean, and myself and Kofi chanced upon a couple of freebase, so we took them. And I tried it, and trust me, I was like a moonraker. I saw myself like an angel suspended in the air.
Saw himself like an angel? That's what drugs could do to you. Well, stay with us. Because at 8:30, we tell you more. Big stories brought to us by Telecel Connecting Energies, Latest Foam, your partner for life, and Equity Health Insurance here for you. And you're about to have the world at your fingertips because the wait is finally over. Telecel is here. Now you have everything that you want and need: quick and reliable communication, stress-free money transactions via Telecel Cash, transforming your big business ideas into success stories with Telecel Business and more. Connect with Telecel and enjoy a world of endless possibilities, because with Telecel, there's no limit to connections. Telecel, connecting energies. And in today's competitive business landscape, a healthy workforce is the foundation of success. That is why we have designed our corporate health plans to empower your employees and enhance your organization's performance. With Equity Health Insurance, you're not just investing in insurance, you're investing in the future of your company. And our plans are tailored to meet the unique needs of your employees, providing comprehensive coverage and incomparable benefits. Our commitment goes beyond paperwork and premiums. At Equity Health Insurance, we stay with you all the way. Call us on 0501 515 124 or 0506 607 910 and let us serve you better. Equity Health Insurance, here for you. But dreaming of the perfect sofa to upgrade this year? Well, your dream sofa is now a reality at Latest Foam. Introducing our sensational V sofa range where comfort meets style at prices that will make your heart skip a beat. Hop into any Latest Foam showroom nationwide to dive into a world of colors and choices. From the sleek L-shaped V sofa at just $3,100 to the complete V sofa set for an unbeatable 6,500 Ghana cedis, you have the opportunity to elevate your living space with Latest Foam, your forever partner in comfort and luxury. Hurry, your perfect sofa awaits. Latest Foam, your partner for life. And it's now time for the Joy Business Minute, brought to us by Consolidated Bank Ghana CBG. We stand with you, Anointed Electricals, the generator experts, and Waika Capital, together towards tomorrow.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, Anointed Electricals, the generator experts, and Waika Capital, together towards tomorrow. Economist Professor Lord Mercer is warning that the proposed price benchmark for petroleum products could hurt the economy. Measures contain election-related spending for this year, recapitalization of the National Investment Bank, and improving tax collections. These are some of the issues that should be finalized during the second IMF program review. Former Finance Minister Seth Terkper is warning government about the potential to end the year spending more than what has been estimated in the 2024 budget. And deliveries from Elon Musk's Tesla has slid sharply in the first 3 months of the year as the EV company grappled with a fire at the European factory, global shipping disruption, and other challenges. And that's the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, Anointed Electricals, the generator experts, and Waika Capital, together towards tomorrow.
Welcome back. And Waika Capital is a multinational fund management company regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Waika Capital, with experience in fund management and investment banking, has over the years helped its customers to thrive by enabling them to achieve their lifetime financial goals. Waika Capital invests funds in ways that create a positive future for its customers, their families, and businesses, and offers corporate finance and advisory services. In these ways, Waika Capital helps its customers to create the best life. You too can also create your best life. Just speak to Waika Capital today on 0501 577 546 or 0501 577 547. Locate the office on the 4th floor, Gulf House, opposite the Ghana Standards Authority, Accra. Visit their website, waikarecapital.com, for more information. Waika Capital, together towards tomorrow. Right, this is the Super Morning Show. Stay with us. There's more after these few messages, including our hotline documentary, Creative Addictions.
Ladies and gentlemen, Telecel is here!
Telecel, connecting energies.
are looking up on this side.
When you upgrade to the enhanced GCB mobile app, you start doing more with ease.
Create a GCB instant account easily and conveniently with your GCB mobile app and start sending and receiving funds. All you need is your Ghana card.
Pay your bills, subscriptions, and fees to multiple merchants safe and secure.
Charlie, tap the app, open a GCB instant account, and experience the recoded vibe.
You're able to top up on all types of ECG prepaid meters with their special card readers and keep the power on. No worries, no stress.
With GCB mobile app, you can also generate prepaid and virtual cards to use on ATM machines, POS devices, and for online transactions.
Well, I pay my subscriptions and fees with my GCB mobile app conveniently.
GCB mobile app. Download now from Google Play Store or Apple Store. Upgrade your style. GCB Bank. Your bank for life.
Hello? Fair driver. Are you sending the sales?
Boss, Medicana Kopim.
Hey, what the car to me so?
Boss, you no renew the insurance.
Tell it, I didn't have time. I had to go to the farm.
You can insure on the farm.
And I had to go to the market too.
You could have insured in the market.
I had to cook supper for my wife. Abba.
Boss, you could have insured in the market.
But how?
By texting or buyer on 0242 426 396 to help insure with Provident Insurance on WhatsApp from anywhere. Annie, babia. With Obaya, now you can insure your car anywhere, anytime. On WhatsApp, text Obaya on 0242 426 396 today. With Provident,
man, you are covered.
Across Africa, a new era has begun. Shifting our focus to a new horizon, connecting us with one purpose: to create and share opportunities to grow. Today, we are making a brighter tomorrow, built by our dreams and our energy. Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future. A Pan-African future. Together. EcoBank. A better way, a better Africa.
Waikari Capital. We are a multinational fund management company regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Our aim is to help our customers thrive by enabling them to achieve their lifetime financial goals while investing their funds in ways that create a positive future for them, their families, and their businesses. In this way, we help them to create the best life. Speak to us today. Call us on 050-157-7546 or 050-157-7547. Visit www.waikaricapital.com. Waikari Capital. Together towards tomorrow.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Right, welcome back. This is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. This morning, let's get interactive because coming up is our latest hotline documentary, Creative Addiction.
We were called upon to clear the residue, and myself and Kofi chanced upon a couple of freebase, so we took them. And I tried it, and trust me, I was like a moonraker. I saw myself like an angel suspended in the air.
When you get on any drug, it can give you some amazing energy and some creative geniuses that just boost you like this.
Anytime that anyone uses any of these drugs or substances of abuse, the brain itself gets affected.
They tell you that drugs will enlarge your creative horizon. There are so many things that you can create and do that under normal circumstances you will not be able to. And surprisingly, there's some truth to it.
They are inquisitive, they want to unfold or uncover, release things that somebody will be like, wow, how did he get to that frequency?
And when they stand on stage, they mesmerize us.
So alcohol still continues to remain the most predominantly used substance or drug for that matter. Cannabis comes soon after that in our setting. where people use and are able to get at very cheap prices, 2 CDs, 5 CDs, and they are good to go. They still enjoy their high.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
And that's our latest Hotline documentary for today here on the Super Morning Show, Creative Addictions, which will focus on persons within the creative industry who are engaged in drug addiction. And earlier we were telling you about the fact that, look, there are many of these people who are engaged in the use of drugs, which include alcohol. And as you heard them say, alcohol is the most accessible one that you can easily get, and it's very cheap. Others would go for marijuana. While at the early stages, it may help you perform, eventually has an impact on you. And as we would see, some of these persons who've been able to come out of it would share their stories. You heard that man talk about how he felt like an angel. Okay. But also coming up this morning, we're still talking about the Heal Comfort and Nurture project. So this is a project that is being done by the King, His Majesty, the Asantehene Otumfuo Asiedu II. This is not a government project. And all they are requesting is assistance by way of tax waiver. That's not too much to ask of a government, is it? Well, unfortunately, they are not getting that. And so this morning, we're urging all those whose responsibility it is to ensure that that is done to quickly move to ensure that we achieve that. But it's now time for insurance today, and that is brought to us by Enterprise Insurance at 100, celebrating our legacy, securing your future.
Insurance Today is a public education service by Enterprise Insurance. Ensure you speak with your insurance broker or agent before making any insurance decisions.
Welcome. I am Baba Taylor. What does the insurance technical jargon warranty mean? Warranty is a guarantee placed on an insurance policy, stating that certain facts, actions, or conditions will be maintained throughout the life of the insurance policy. In ordinary usage, the term warranty often means that a product will perform as its manufacturers have stated. But in insurance, warranty deals more with the facts provided by a policyholder and the fulfillment of stated conditions throughout the policy's duration. For example, if you warranted in your comprehensive motor insurance policy that your car will not be used for car racing, the insurer may reject your claim if you get your car into a car race and damage it. Next is liability. Liability is an obligation that one person owes to another person. In insurance, a person or a company may be held responsible for negligence, which may lead to injury, damage to other people's properties, or financial losses. Liability insurance protects people or companies from losses through risk that can occur and for which they may be responsible. For example, a restaurant's contaminated food hospitalizes a guest. If the guest sues, the restaurant may pay the guest's medical cost and perhaps legal cost also. Liability insurance policies cover the cost and financial obligations to a third party like this guest. In this case, the restaurant receives financial support from the insurer under liability policy. Our email is insurancetoday@myenterprisegroup.io or WhatsApp us at 0548 231 149.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Now, so men quite up. I am a when you pay my, ya be a father, I have a call. Juju, I am.
drugs will enlarge your creative horizon. There are so many things that you can create and do that under normal circumstances you will not be able to. And surprisingly, there's some truth to it.
Got such prodigious talent, enslaved to addiction in ways that honestly make you sad. But he's only one example of the many subjects of Kwame Daz's documentary. And Kwame is here with us. Kwame, good to see you.
Kojo, good to be here.
Indeed. Listen, this is a great job you've done, and you've really given us. You kind of, peeled back the curtain to show us, what has been going on behind the careers of some of our most beloved performers and creatives, and the struggles that they've been going through because of addiction. What motivated this work?
Kojo, I've been in this industry for a while, and I've interacted with some of these celebrities. We've heard stories of celebrities or creatives going through drug addiction. Even on the international front, we can mention Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Johnny Depp, and all those people. Now, coming back home, we saw the life of Kiki Jan, great talent, played with Osibisa, and got influenced by some other people that he met later on in life. He got into drugs. About 21 years, he was a drug addict. And we also saw how he died. He died, a poor man in the bathhouse of a church right here in Ghana. Talk about Lord Kenya, who came out to say that he was using cocaine for 12 years. Wow. So if you saw him on stage, very energetic, very loud and all that, it was under influence. And so sometime last year, we heard the story of Red Eye of Tooth of Fame. We heard that he had left his house. He was wandering somewhere in the ghetto at Tema. And so a media friend of mine, Emmanuel Ajiman, went for him. He was actually into drugs, seriously, hard drugs. So he sent him to Chosen Rehab Center. Then after that, my producer, Philip Knight, and I decided to do a show on that. So we did on Showbiz A to Z, and later we decided to put together a documentary to educate people on the dangers of drug use in this industry. So yeah, that's the inspiration.
Was it difficult getting people to open up?
Very difficult. There were people that we called that declined to speak to us. Just a few decided or agreed to speak to us. A former radio presenter with one of our sister stations agreed to speak to us, and some other creatives also in the industry opened up to us. We spoke to a health professional, we spoke to the owner of Chosen Rehab Center as well, who also told us about the people that come in there. And interestingly, according to him, about 50% of them are creatives or have creative talents. Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest shock to you, the biggest revelation to you in everything you discovered during this process?
The biggest shock is when I discovered from the interviews that some of them started smoking or got into drugs as early as age 11.
Ooh.
Yeah. And most of them actually started smoking. They got into drugs when they were in school, boarding school. And the other side of it, most people don't know alcohol is a drug.
Yeah.
I got to know when I had that interaction with the Dr. Hatcher, and I was like, wow, really? It's actually the most abused drug the world over.
Yeah, because it's legal.
Very. So these are some of the things that I picked up, when I had the interviews with the people in the documentary.
Now, some have recovered.
Some have.
How difficult was that for them?
According to them, they had to go through a lot. They had to seek professional help. There were others who believed that it was spiritual. So they had to dedicate their lives to Christ, if you like. There is one person that I interviewed. You will hear him speak about his experience. He, at a point in time, even when he went to the seminary and he was there, he could steal collection, what we call collection, office to go buy drugs. It was that serious for him.
Wow.
That serious for him. to a point where he had to even lose his job. He had no money. He neglected his family. So his wife and the child left him. So these are the things that people who go through these situations actually suffer. Yeah.
All right. Well, I suppose it's about time we got into it. This documentary, of course, will be live on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel. Okay, go check it out. Some really great picture quality as well when you watch it on YouTube. And, of course, you can follow the conversation on X Spaces and contribute, share your thoughts, your views, comment under these live broadcasts, and we certainly will be paying attention to the things you say there. But I think it's time we get into it. Okay, this documentary is focusing on what drives creatives into the use of drugs. It talks about the effects of drug use on their livelihoods, their jobs, and in fact how they were able, some of them, to come out of drug addiction. Here it is, produced by Kwame Daze. It's the latest Joy News documentary, Creative Addictions.
It can give you some amazing energy and some creative geniuses that just boost you like this.
Anytime that anyone uses any of these drugs or substances of abuse, the brain itself gets affected.
Creatives, their brain never rests. They are inquisitive. They want to unfold or uncover, release things that somebody will be like, wow, how did he get to that frequency?
And when they stand on stage, they mesmerize us. At a point in time, I left my comfort zone, my abode, and I came to Medina Ghetto, and I fraternized with rocks and wolves. I became a night owl, always on a wild goose chase. And sometimes making 3 square meters a day seems difficult and almost impossible for me.
This is Noah King, a presenter who once worked with a popular radio station in Accra in the early 2000s. Noah's exceptional presentation skills earned him a lot of admirers. But his promising radio career was truncated when he was plunged into an abyss of drug addiction. Noah King tells me that he started using drugs before he got into the media space. However, he says the situation got worse when he traveled with some musicians for a concert in Tamale. That was when he was introduced to more dangerous drugs.
After advanced level, I was at home doing nothing. And my father, had this koinonia with the musicians. He rolls with them. And then the Kokumba Nanumba war erupted. So the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Police Service, the National Security Apparatus thought that it would be prudent on their part to organize a peace concert dubbed Operation Gongo in the 3 northern regions so as to forestall peace in the environs. So apparently, my father having, this koinonia with most musicians told one that, yes, I want my son to join you guys so that he can familiarize himself since he's at home doing nothing. So we're airlifted here from Accra to Tamale. When we go to Tamale, the hotel that we were put up I saw things that were alien to me, things that were foreign to me, things that I never knew anything about. Though I had experimented cannabis sativa way back in college, way back in, during my secondary school days. So this time I realized that these things were foreign. And then one guy who was with me, whose name is Kofi, well, he was pointing to me, this is crack. This, what are you doing is cappuccinos. This is cocktail. And what he's holding is a bunker.
Noah King's curiosity fueled his woes. He was convinced that the source of the assertiveness and the energetic performances of the musicians was drugs.
So when I saw them do that, I said, okay, then this is what gets them euphoric. And when they stand on stage, they mesmerize us. And I said, okay, fine. So when they were done with all that they were doing that very night, we were called upon to clear the residue. And myself and Kofi chanced upon a couple of freebases. When I say freebases, I mean crack on the table and some on the floor. So we took them. And Kofi knows much into it, and therefore he fixed the crack and he took the heat. And he asked me too. I said, yes, I want to try it, because if this is giving them the euphoric and the energy and the drive, then I think that's a good thing. And I tried it, and trust me, I was like a moonraker. I saw myself like an angel suspended in the air.
When they returned to Accra from their concerts in the northern region, Noah could not free himself from the shackles of his newfound love. He spent his money on different types of drugs, including those that would enhance his sexual potency.
So from the experimental stage, I moved to the recreational stage. Apparently, I was getting tuition from them. This will actually let you perform well in bed and all that. And trust me, when I tried it, I realized that it was. But one thing about drug is this: when diminishing returns set in, you will get to understand that no, you're going down on bended knees, and even you wouldn't get erection, let alone ejaculation. Yeah.
The drug addiction had a toll on Noah's work. He would rather spend time in the hazy stupor of his drugs than go to work. Eventually, he was sacked.
It got to a point in time, instead of me going on air, I wouldn't go. I would say, Mufti Dabri, Najib, it is a good play for me. So it got to a point in time, despite says, no, it seems this guy has lost it, has lost focus. And apparently I was relieved of my duties.
Not only did Noah King lose his job, he also lost his family and resorted to sleeping in slums.
One day I went to town, and then before I came back, she packed bag and baggages and left unceremoniously with a young chap, Jaden, and they left. And when I came, I said, oh yes, beautiful. I love it that you guys went. Wow. Reasons being that the little that I have, I can use it to satisfy myself again.
But Noah King is not the only Ghanaian creative that has suffered the scourge of drug addiction. Kiki Jan, Timothy Bentum, O.J. Black, Nasty, Lord Kenya, Okonfo Kwade, Sugar Tone, and Red Eye of Too Tough fame have been in this situation. While some are able to overcome it, the addiction knocks others into penury and, in extreme cases, death. But the big question is, which drugs are commonly used? Dr. Julius Hatcher, a psychiatrist and clinical coordinator of the Pantan Hospital, tells me more.
Commonly, what we are seeing, and the most common substance all around the world, is alcohol. Alcohol is a very, very toxic drug. Unfortunately, it's among all of them the most legal and illicit of the drugs. Yes. Whenever you see adverts on TV about liquor or inhibitors containing, they say 18 years and above. But who really checks for ID cards whenever alcohol is being purchased? So alcohol still continues to remain the most predominantly used substance or drug for that matter. Cannabis comes soon after that in our setting, where people use and are able to get at very cheap prices, 2 CDs, 5 CDs, and they are good to go. They still enjoy their high. And then you have the cigarettes or the nicotines around.
This is the Chosen Rehab Center, a facility that offers help to mentally challenged individuals. This was where Red Eye of Two Top fame, after battling drug addiction in 2023, got relief.
The use of drugs is one big problem bedeviling the creative industry. A lot of creatives the world over have lost their lives, their sanity, and their livelihood through drugs. But what really pushes them into this act? Let's find out.
The center has a music recording studio, a computer lab, a gym, and an open area suitable for prayer meetings. The Chief Executive Officer of Chosen Rehab Center, Apostle Daniel Kobe Washington, tells me about some of the things that drive creatives into drug use.
Because the brain never rests. Creatives, their brain never rests. They are inquisitive. They want to know more. They want to unfold or uncover, release things that somebody will be like, wow, how did he get to that frequency? How did he get this song? How did he come up with this movie? How did he write that book? You know, because the normal thing is, it doesn't give nobody a high. Something that is common, nobody wants to fall for it. But you want to come up with something different. And that is why they start experimental abuse or drugs. Let me do some weed. Let me do some alcohol. They have the different ways to do it. But the weed is known that it's supposed to broaden or open them up.
According to satirist Kweku Sintim Misa, popularly known as KSM, the biggest push for drug use among talents in the creative industry is the ability of the drugs to evoke wild creative ideas.
They tell you that drugs will enlarge your creative horizon. There are so many things that you can create and do that under normal circumstances you will not be able to. And surprisingly, there's some truth to it.
For most people who use illicit drugs, they start as children or teenagers. The late Lynx Entertainment signee O.J. Black is one of those who got trapped in the act when he was but a little boy.
I started smoking when I was very young, very, very little. I started at the age of 11.
11 years?
Yes.
Who introduced you?
No one.
How did it happen?
So I was in a boarding house, and sometimes you see the security, what we used to call watchmen, smoking around. I'm seated in their jacket smoking, and I was talking to one of my friends, like, hey, Charlie, see the way this food is smoking, you know? It was like, oh, you go fix smoking. And that was how it started.
I want to sing for the world, sing for my country.
Good.
So if I sing and you don't pay me, yo, I don't lose. If you know what you are doing and what the talent is and what it's worth, it's not what the peanut the person is going to give you.
Nasty, a former member of the Lifetime Family Music Group, tells me that his relationship with drugs was birthed during his time in Adisadel College. Little did he know that what made him high for a moment would ruin his life forever.
This whole thing started in school. You understand? This whole drug thing started in school. I started and the school guys say me, and I'm trying to say about my life story. These two guys are telling me that because I went to the Southern College guys, but I'm not going to lie. I started this drugs around 19. I was a little kid, I was a little bit stubborn because Charlie. Running something strong. I don't worry. So far as my motive is to stop drugs, I don't want any drug conversation because right now I'm trying to say no to it. more than going to rehab. Or they should tight me. They don't want me to understand. Saying no to it. You have the money in your pocket. You say no, you won't buy it. That is real rehab.
Dr. Julius Hatcher says drugs impede the normal functioning of the brain.
The whole concept or the whole idea of drug is that it has got a biological basis. Addiction now demonstrates a biological basis, making it clear that anytime that anyone uses any of these drugs or substances of abuse, the brain itself gets affected. It halts the maturation of the brain. And to some extent, it even causes the brain's maturation to regress. So certain social skills that you would expect that a person will acquire at a certain stage, because of the use of drug, they may not gain or acquire it.
That notwithstanding, the general perception that drugs boost the confidence of creatives is rife among entertainers. Although Noah King agrees with this notion, he cautions that the consequences are dire.
On the prelims, you would do better because you can imagine when you are behind the turntable and being highly spirited and the music is going on, and you want to scratch, you want to do this, you talk, you get to the euphoria. So I always have the intuition that no, when I don't get high, I can't perform that well. But it will get to a stage and time where you will no longer use the drug for your work, but the drug will be using you.
For entertainers who depend on drugs for their creative activities, KSM, who admits to attempting drugs in the past, advises that the future is bleak. According to the venerated comedian, people who create works of art without external aids like drugs are usually more successful.
When you get on any drug, it can give you some amazing energy and some creative geniuses that can just boost you like this. You know?
Speaking from personal experience.
Can I finish?
Okay, finish.
That can give you the boost. However, trust me, if you rely on your natural and you give yourself enough time, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. The deception is that one gives you an immediate thing that you can do, and you think, oh, this is it, this is the way out. But the more you do it, the more at the same time it destroys that capacity. So you can be the greatest creative and everything, but later on you realize that it brings you down again very, very, very fast. So my advice is don't depend on any external high to get creative, because it will give you just that boost. But you can't depend on that boost. Now the other question:
Did you ever try any of those drugs?
I tried something. I tried something. Very, very minimal thing to test it. Actually, honestly, I did it. Okay, let me see how best it can help me to be creative. And the ideas that I got were all very, very wild. To me, wow, this thing is amazing. It can give you ideas and things. But then once it starts dying down, these were not wild ideas. This was stupid things. But at that time, you don't care. You think it's, So for me, it doesn't work. And I think creatives, I believe in what they call the natural high.
Okay.
I believe in what they call the natural high. Creatives who stay natural and depend on the natural high are always more successful, and they have longevity than those who depend on the quick high thing.
At the Chosen Rehab Center, Apostle Washington reveals a lot of the people who are brought to his facility for treatment are those who have artistic capabilities,
the reason he decided to build a music studio at the premises.
We see that almost 50% of the people that comes in are musically inclined. So either they sing or they rap, or some might say they play drums. So we realize that if we're having a lot of these people, then we need to put in the studio. And God being so good, my background is production. Because I'm a Grammy-nominated producer in Sweden. So it was easy for me to put together the studio and to teach music lessons and music classes and how to beat making and all that.
So you personally teach?
I teach, yeah.
And you have others who help you to do that?
So I've trained a lot of guys. So the guys that you are seeing in the studios over there, they have been taught softwares like Pro Tools, Studio One, Logic, so they can use all these things and make their beats. And production helps. Because you will need some kind of concentration, and if you are able to put the tones together, there's a certain high in it.
Wow.
So that can replace the highness for the drugs that you were feeling for.
For those who find themselves in this situation, all hope is not lost. Dr. Hatchet suggests ways to help people get out of drug use and its addiction.
In helping people who are into drugs or substance abuse, we have various strategies and approaches, and it's easier when you have the person you are dealing with appreciating the fact that they have a problem that needs to be treated for that matter. Unfortunately, quite a number of the people who have substance use disorders or addiction issues do not even consider it as a problem until they may hit rock bottom. But once they do, what we do is that we have a process whereby we assess them, because drugs, like I have mentioned or alluded to in the past, have a myriad effect on the human being, and they may have a physical condition that is associated with the drug use. So they need a thorough medical examination, a thorough psychiatric examination, so that we identify some of the underlying medical conditions, some of the underlying psychiatric conditions. Then we can target treatment at them and probably focus subsequently on the drug use.
So, before you think about engaging in drugs to boost your creativity or for other recreational purposes, consider the harking effect it could have on your health, your finances, your family, and the community. Kwame Dazi, Joy News.
That's the Hotline documentary produced by Kwame Dazi and Creative Addictions. All right, now we're going to be talking to Dr. Julius Hatcher. He's a specialist psychiatrist, clinical coordinator at Pantang Hospital. We'll be hearing from the Musica president, Bessa Simons, and Timothy Bintum, who is an actor. All three of them helping us understand the effects and impacts of addiction on creatives. But before that, listen, we all have those days when we're low on everything, right? Energy, time, cash, even airtime and data. But that is why MTN Extra Time is an airtime and data advanced service that allows you to make calls or browse the internet even when you have insufficient balance. All you have to do is dial star 506 hash. That's star 506 hash. Go through the prompts and select the amount of airtime or data you need, and that's it. It's more than simple. Doing your favorite things on MTN means you don't get interrupted even when you're low on airtime or data. Please remember, all terms and conditions apply.
So, Riverman Productions, in partnership with the National Theatre and Joy FM, presents an original Ibo White classic, Dubai or No Sex. So Dubai or No Sex.
It's continuing this weekend, right?
Yes, it's continuing this weekend.
We shall be there. We shall be there.
All of you have been thinking delves into themes of honesty, integrity, and impact of social media, and a man's unwavering resolve to stay true to himself in the midst of external pressure.
Contrary to what we've been thinking. I see.
And it will be showing on the 5th, 6th, and 7th of April 2024. Friday, 1 show. Sat at 7 p.m. Saturdays, 2 shows. 4 p.m., 8 p.m. Sunday, 3 shows. 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 8 p.m. So that's Roverman 1, 2, 3. Venue National Theatre rate is a cool 200 Ghana cedis. Buy tickets via Coba short code star 365 star 535 hash. And at all the regular outlets, be informed.
Now, here's the good news. Go ahead.
Yes, be informed that a purchase ticket may earn you a free round trip to Dubai.
That's right. That's right. Yes. So it will be Dubai and yes,
Dubai and yes.
Yes.
For inquiries, call 0596 921960 or send a WhatsApp to 0505 546 030. You can follow us on all our social media platforms at Riverman Productions, proudly sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix and GCB Bank PLC, media partner M Notify and Logistic Movers. Buy your tickets now. Riverman Productions, be the difference.
You said I was not qualified to participate in it, but I've checked with my boss. I'm qualified.
You are qualified in partnership with Joy FM.
Yeah, but why? Am I Joy FM?
You are a worker of Joy FM.
Joy FM is a partnership with
company.
Joy FM.
Yes, in partnership with Joy FM. You are part.
Anyway, are you looking for a freight forwarding company to handle both your inbound and outbound shipments? Even if you work at Joy FM, look no further. IAS and FedEx offers a wide variety of international freight services, which include air freight, sea freight, be it less container load, LCL, or full container load, FCL. There's also the customs clearance and documentation. Our international operations link more than 200 countries, supported by an extensive domestic network in all key markets, and offer a range of fast and direct freight services to suit your needs. Now, we have dedicated staff who have in-depth knowledge in our local customs clearance and processing and procedures. IAS FedEx pre-finances freight pickups up to an agreed threshold for our clients. Terms and conditions apply. Please contact us now for free consultation on international freight services and customs clearance process. Numbers here that you should be calling now: 050-160-5000 or 050-163-1000. With IAS Ghana, your freight is firmly secured.
All right, then, listen, when we come back, we start to delve into these issues that have been uncovered by this documentary. Dr. Julius Hatcher, Bessa Simons, and Timothy Bintum are our guests after these.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Vital Signs by Sonotech Medical Center. I'm Dr. Grace Bachman. As we celebrate Autism Awareness Month, today let's embark on a journey of understanding autism spectrum disorders, a condition that paints a unique canvas in the world of neurodiversity. Imagine a spectrum, a vast array of colors and shades, each representing the diverse ways in which autism manifests in individuals. From subtle nuances to vibrant hues, no two journeys are alike. At its core, autism is a difference in the way the brain processes information. Sensory sensitivities, communication challenges, and repetitive behaviors are just a few brushstrokes in this intricate portrait. Reach out to Sonotech Medical Center on 0242 439 467. Find us at the Oxford Street Mall, West Hills Mall, and Tema Community 9.
Are you a corporate organization, e-commerce business, individual or student looking for a trusted courier company where you can track your package and receive SMS alerts to keep you posted? At IAS FedEx, we move your documents and parcels with care to the destination of your choice. With offices across the nation, we happily deliver your package to your office or the comfort of your home. With the assurance of safety and affordability giving you peace of mind, IAS FedEx has your package in good hands. Call us on +233 501 605,000 or +233 501 631,000. IAS, licensee of FedEx.
Roverman Productions, in partnership with National Theatre and Joy FM, present an original Iboai play, Dubai or No Sex.
Barney, darling, do you know where Simon and Diva went for their annual vacation?
To Dubai.
Oh, so you know. And the year before that's the way the
Caribbeans.
Where have you been on vacation with me, your wife?
Ajwa, you and I have been at Kwewu for Easter.
Kwewu.
Winneba for Abuache. Elmina for Bakatu.
Elmina.
And we have been at Keta for
Barnabas.
We are also regular at Homowo. Shows on March 29th, 30th, 31st, and April 1st, 6th and 7th. Time, Fridays at 7 p.m. Saturdays, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Sundays, 1 p.m., 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. And a special showing on Easter Monday at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Rate 200 Ghana cedis. Get your tickets on the Callbar short code *365*535# and at all regular outlets. Call 059-6922-040. WhatsApp 050-554-6030. Sponsors: Gino Tomato Mix, GCB Bank Limited, and M Notified. Roverman Productions. Be the difference.
Hey, welcome back to work.
Charlie, thanks, bro. Thanks,
the
bro.
malaria really knocked you down, eh?
Charlie, no joke. Hey, fever, headache, vomiting, loss of appetite. I couldn't even eat my usual fufu.
You and fufu?
How we go do it?
I hope you got tested before the malaria treatment.
Oh, yes, I did. And thanks to Malatu, I kicked out malaria one time.
Sharp. Anyway, sorry to ruin your excitement, but your boss asked of you.
Okay.
She says she has plenty work for you.
No problem, Charlie. Strength day.
You see,
When malaria strikes, take Malatu, containing Artemether and Lumefantrine. Comes in tablet and suspension for the effective treatment of malaria in adults and children. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Malatu is manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Only 5 words can describe Bet Power's new boosted odds.
Odds must be crazy.
They are the biggest odds in Bet Power history.
Odds must be crazy.
Available on the home draw and away full-time market of the biggest matches each week.
Odds must be crazy.
Giving you more opportunities than ever to bet small for a chance to win big.
Odds must be crazy.
Follow the purple arrows to find them on betpower.com.gh.
Odds must be crazy.
That's betpawa.com.gh. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. 18 years and above only. Gaming can be addictive. Terms and conditions apply.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
It's past 9 on the Super Morning Show, and well, today is the day we've aired that all-important documentary about creatives and the addictions that plague them. So now we're going to get into a conversation, learn a bit more about it. We're very excited. Here in the studio with us is the specialist psychiatrist and clinical coordinator at Pantang Hospital, Dr. Julius Hatcher. It's very nice to have you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you too.
Also here in the studio is our very own Uncle B, Bessa Simons, of course, president of Musica. How nice to see you again. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much, Kujo.
Wonderful. All right. And now we are joined via Zoom by Timothy Bintum, who has had an illustrious acting career, and today is at the helm of Timothy Bintum Ministries. It's a pleasure to have you, Timothy. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Hope you're well. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. All right. Now, I mean, we've all seen this documentary. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to start by clearing up a few facts with Dr. Hatcher. So we talk loosely about this concept of addiction, but there is some very clear difference, isn't there, between using a drug and being addicted to it. Am I right?
Yes. So I think you hit the nail right on the head. Addiction is about the latter stages of drug use, and not everybody who uses drugs gets addicted to them. And addiction is not the only disorder or disease that can even result from the use of drugs. People may start experimenting with drugs, have various side effects. Some take it and they vomit profusely, have some bad abdominal pain, and first time they may just have some weird ideas about life and themselves, which we describe as psychosis. And when they continue to use these things or these drugs, that is when they get to the stage or the level that we would call they become dependent on these substances. And so in the normal or everyday terms, we'll say they are addicted to that particular drug. Yeah, so addiction is not it develops over time. An individual may have the preponderance or the likelihood to develop addiction, but it does not necessarily mean that the first time that they take the drug, then we say they are addicted to the drug. Yeah.
Now you mentioned the fact that there are other disorders and diseases, if you will, that could come from the use of drugs of all kinds. Tell us about some of these other disorders.
Yes. So the use of drugs, like I've already mentioned, can lead an individual to get intoxication. Now, some of the intoxication symptoms are what I mentioned earlier on, like the vomiting, the loss of sense of reality, sometimes abdominal pains here and there. However, there are medical conditions too that can be associated with the use of drugs, and so at that level, we say that the individual is at the level of harmfully using the drug when they become aware of the medical side effects that is given to them. So take a drug like nicotine or cigarettes that people smoke. They may develop some lung conditions, respiratory tract infections here and there, where they get pneumonias, they cough with blood-stained sputum, and sometimes when they smoke for a very long time, they can even develop some lung cancers here and there. Smoking has other effects even on the cardiovascular system, where people develop hypertension and even what we call coronary artery disease, which leads to things like heart attack and so on and so forth. So these are just to mention a few.
Right.
It's even worse when it comes to drugs like alcohol. Alcohol can cause liver damage and cause what we call liver failure.
Right.
Alcohol can irritate the lining of your stomach, and you can continue to have repeated abdominal pains, which we may in medical parlance may call gastritis. So it's not everybody who is having regular or frequent abdominal pain who is necessarily having an ulcer. Sometimes it's because of some of these drugs of abuse that they are having these side effects, you know.
We'll come back to you in a bit and learn about the effect of these drugs on the mind. But before that, Uncle B, one of the interesting observations is that creatives are the ones we tend to hear more of when it comes to issues of addiction. We don't hear about as many teachers being addicted to drugs. We don't hear about as many police officers or nurses. Creatives tend to make the headlines for this kind of thing. Is there a reason for that? Is there something about the work you do that makes it easier for these abuses to happen?
Thank you. I think creatives get introduced to such drugs easily. You know, people are, and most creatives are very affable, and so you can approach them. And you know, people who do drugs and sell drugs love music, so they will always come to musicians. And I think that is why you see some of them falling for it. Yeah, and by the time most people realize that it's an illusion, they are deep into it, and snapping out of it, I don't think is that easy than, you know, getting into it. And I think that is why you hear so many creatives doing that. I mean, I also think, I mean, for me, when I was growing up, straight away you see someone walking on the street looking very shabby, and then they will say, oh, this guy, you know, he smoked weed and, you know, lost his senses, and that is why he's behaving like that. And so you tell yourself, I would never like to be like this one, you know. And also, most of the musicians that I know will think about their family name. I will not disgrace my family, you know, by, you know, getting into drugs. And I mean, in my case, this is what it is. I mean, I've seen more than, you know, my parents did all over the world. And I always say to myself when I see it, what will my parents say or do if I get into this and I get into such a state? And I bring a shame to the whole family. So I think your background and how, you know, strong your feet is on the ground also, you know,
plays a role.
Helps. But I mean, sometimes people will be playing on the stage and people will come and dash them drugs on the stage, you know. So if we're a little bit loose, then you get into it.
Yeah, I mean, you make an important point. There seems to be so much of it around backstage, you know, on the set of, you know, movies, and there just seems to be so much access to illegal substances. You talk about how performers tend to be affable, and so these, you know, people who peddle these things find comfort around them. But I mean, is there something that organizations like Musica and other representative groups of creatives can do to perhaps protect, you know, creatives from these influences?
I think that there's a lot, you know, like an organization like Musica can do, because we are at the same time there to protect the welfare and well-being of musicians. I mean, just quite recently we had a free health screening, realizing that, you know, musicians normally don't go for checkups. So through capacity building, I'm sure we can work with the psychiatric agencies for them to, you know, start having a conversation or a workshop about what this can do to you and how you can prevent it and those kind of things. I think there's a lot we can do on that field.
Timothy Bentum is an actor. I mean, he admits quite openly that for over a decade he was quite heavily addicted to cocaine, and for about half a decade, for about 5 years, he was also addicted to weed. Timothy, thank you for joining us. Now, we heard in the documentary how some creatives see these drugs as a means to boost their creativity, to sort of unlock another level in their creative process, in their mental abilities. Did you ever experience that? Was that ever a motivation for you at the time you were hooked on these drugs?
I think that, well, I know that my journey with drugs wasn't necessarily as a deficiency in support. I think it was just the want for adventure. But getting to know these people by and large, I found that there's a heavy deficiency of love primarily. A heavy deficiency of support. Not necessarily financial. I'm talking about support that's family support from people you really care about. Okay. What actually does happen is that people begin staying in the ghetto some more, because when they start doing these things, when they come home, everybody's selling their company, everybody's down with their clubbing, and then all the love they get in the ghetto. And so when they go back there, everybody out there is Babylon, all kinds of things. So everybody in the ghetto is like a family. And for me, I think that the biggest driver of addictions is the lack of the family system. The lack of adequate support structures from home. Yes, there's that bit that says it feeds your creativity and makes you better at turning out lines or bars or act better or be a better presenter or MC. Yes, I agree to an extent, and that's what's being peddled out there. But that is because different people are advising these ones as opposed to them having adequate doses of sensible advice from people that matter. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, we're following.
Because the major issue here isn't a deficiency in the person's own resolve. It's more of a collective degree of external being there. If we are able to strengthen our family systems, believe you me, there will be a very sharp decline in those that are getting introduced to these things and those that are on these things. The best kind of, for me, yes, I'm a man of God, of course, I'm going to go to a space, but I mean, specifically, the best kind of rehabilitation is love. First, love. Let them understand that, listen, you're still loved once they get there. But before they get in, we make the arts come across as, if you want to be a rapper, you're not serious in life. If you want to, you're not serious. And so from the very get-go, the whole time is looking down on you, and you want to succeed to prove a point. And all the people who you succeed are in one vice or another, or one addictive, cycle or another. And so until we are able to begin building these systems, we are still going to be losing people to drugs every now and then. Personally, that wasn't my point. It was just me being a bad boy and seeking adventure and everything else.
So if I've understood you, Timothy, what you're suggesting is that the biggest driver behind your addiction, and perhaps the addiction of most other creatives, is a lack of love.
Absolutely. Believe me, absolutely. My big brother, besides that, I think he might agree with me, because most of these people, once they say they want to be a singer, a rapper, because we are in a developing world, now you say third world, now they're getting better, going a bit up that. Everybody sees you as not being serious. If you say you want to be a doctor, hey, you want to be a lawyer, hey, I want to pilot, hey, I want to be an engineer, hey. But when you say I want to be a poet, I want to be an art, I want to sing. I mean, artists without the E, artists as in draw. You're seen as should I be serious? People don't give you the adequate help to become the best you can be. So then these people end up relying on either people that have gone ahead of them or other people who are in these, things they want to become, but are hooked on all kinds of things. And then they become their role models, and so it just keeps, the cycle going.
Yeah. Dr. Hatchett, this is something that we will explore when we start talking about the ways out, the ways to recover from addiction. But there's something I wanted to check, because I have also heard what Uncle Bessa talked about, when people say, oh, look, that guy walking down the road, with the dreadlocks, naked, with some obvious mental illness. He got that way because he smoked weed.
I see.
Let's talk about the effect of these drugs on the brain. And we'll start with a common one, which is weed, marijuana.
Yeah.
I mean, is it actually factual that marijuana causes madness or mental illness?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm glad that this topic has come up. First, let me clear the air by saying that it's not everyone we are seeing in the streets walking naked, looking unkempt, dressed shabbily with dreadlocks, who is having a mental illness. That is one. And even among those who have the mental illness, it's not all of them per se who are drug abusers. But then there is a good amount of evidence, and it is a well-established fact, that weed smoking, cannabis as we call it, leads to a mental illness, and a very prominent major kind of mental illness that we call schizophrenia, which often even takes a chronic course. And so weed is something that is very dangerous. Although we realize that weed is something that people can easily stay off, it seems to be doing a lot of harm when it comes to the brains and the mental health of people.
Is that to say that it's not so addictive when you say people can stay off it?
Weed is addictive. But among the drugs that people get addicted to, weed is not difficult when it comes to stop, when it comes to the withdrawal symptoms. Most of the time when people who smoke weed wants to stop, it's just some loss of appetite or poor sleep they may experience, unlike the alcohols where they have the shaking, the tremors. Sometimes they can have some seizures and so on and so forth
when they try to stop.
Exactly. For weed, usually the stopping is not that a problem, much of a problem for them, except for their appetite, their feeding most of the time. Sometimes a few nausea here and there, but it's not something that is so fatal. But when it comes to their mental health, weed is something that can start off a new mental illness altogether and keep the illness going, to the extent that even after the weed is withdrawn, the mental illness can stay with the individual permanently for the rest of their lives. And that implies that they have to get an extra treatment for that mental illness, which has come to stay with them at the end of the day. So weed is a very dangerous drug when it comes to mental health.
Interesting, because you keep hearing this debate about it, and you keep hearing people say that, well, it's all natural, it's herbs, and all the effects are temporary, and there are all kinds of arguments for it compared to other drugs, right? Now, at least you have confirmed that in terms of stopping it, it's easier, but not that it doesn't have any negative effects on the body.
Exactly. So weed definitely has very tremendous negative effects on the body, especially the mind or the brain. Even at the time that the individual is smoking it, sometimes they can get so delirious whereby they start even talking to themselves. They can also experience the same paranoia that comes with using drugs like cocaine and the rest as well. Initially, when they start using it, they describe a certain euphoria or a feeling that is out of this world, where everything looks brighter in color, where they think and feel as though they are above everybody else, they are wiser than everyone else. So you realize that most people who smoke weed tend to say deep things, and they feel it's the weed that is bringing them. They feel bigger than everyone else, essentially, at the end of the day. Exactly. But as they keep doing it, they will tell you that they have some they have some experiences which are out of the normal, but usually they will not place the emphasis there. They will place the emphasis on how much they are able to understand things and learn more, especially for those who are in the secondary schools and universities, trying to get their friends and things also to join in with regards to the usage of the drug.
Okay, I want us to start our conversation about recovery with Timothy, because you are a living example of someone who has recovered from addiction. How did you do it?
Well, that's interesting. This is where, personally, I don't think I have a clinical explanation for it, because I think that God played a huge role in my overcoming of that particular thing. But I wasn't just like once a while. It was like every day, wakers and sleepers and everything in between. I've spoken to a few clinical psychologists and all these mental health experts, like my brother stood with, for instance. And my case is strange, because I had no withdrawal symptoms, I had no running nose, no twitches, it was. I mean, I literally, I remember seeing John Jamino one morning, and then coming back and then kneeling down in front of my bed and saying, Charlie, I can't do it anymore. You got to help. And then it seems that things happened that helped. But personally, I believe I'll taking that, be brought to a place that can help other people. And so everybody I've helped, I think that it's first admitting that there's a problem. For me, everybody I've spoken to, everybody I've had the opportunity to help, and I've been living, watching examples, is first to admit that there's a problem. And the saying goes, admitting the problem is 50% of the problem solved. And so once the person admits it, then now we can start some kind of a road to recovery. And for me, I mean, it might not be what the doctor would say, but it's been all in blood factor. I get you to, I read particular messages every day. We do some kind of stuff, and you are very accountable to me. Physically, accountability is key. So we agree that you don't lie about all these. So there's heavy accountability. I know where you are at every point in time. I know what you're doing, who you're with, And if for any reason you slip, you come back to moving. Charlie, guess what? And then you start again. The accountability helps. So I keep you with me for as long as it's practically possible. When you can't be with me, you're accountable, I'm checking on you. And of course, and then you're following in the Jesus fact that makes sure that the Holy Spirit is doing this. But I think that for every recovering addict, there has to be a breaking down, a bringing away of yourself. Because the circle would always introduce whatever, and bring some sort of a nostalgic feel that would want, you to go back. A friend of mine always said, hey, cocaine is very dull, it's them, because it gives you like Dr. said, this euphoric, feel. And so the first thing is the Jesus factor. The second thing is breaking down, whatever circle it is, and putting yourself from there.
Right.
Because then they'll end up rubbing off you the wrong way. And then the third thing is accountability. So once you put this in place, well, like I said, so it's number one is actually establishing that problem. The number two is kicking in with the Jesus factor. Number three is breaking down who your friends are, your regular friends, that you hang out with and do stuff. Then the fourth is making sure that you are always accountable. Right. And that has worked. I mean, with you, success cases that I've worked with.
Timothy, let me check this with you. I mean, you were addicted to cocaine for over a decade.
Yes.
You're saying that when you finally quit, you had no physical effects?
Trust me. It's like a miracle. I'm telling you for a fact that I was heavily addicted. I mean, literally sold everything in my father's house. So I was like gone. I actually have a story where I stole a lady's purse in the truck. So it was that gap, and I just knelt, and I was from a very religious home. My dad, the pastor, my mom was an even stronger Christian. We pray for hours for me and all that. I knelt down and said, Lord, I'm dying. And that's the truth. And I didn't have one big girl to everybody I've spoken to says it's not possible. But I know what happened to me, and I'm telling you that.
Well, we know for a fact that this will not be the common experience, Doc.
No.
Yes, we know that most people will go through lots of physical withdrawal symptoms.
Exactly.
So, I mean, tell us, medically, for someone who has come to that realization that Timothy came to on that fateful day and has decided that this must stop, what's step one? What's step two? How do they climb back out of this hole into the light?
Yeah. So, I think Timothy is a very lucky one to have gone through his experience and coming out of withdrawal without any symptom, without any pain. But most of the time, the pain of the withdrawal process is what prevents most addicts from actually seeking the necessary help and submitting to the help. But the thing about that realization, once you get there, once the individual gets to the point where they think, I cannot do it on my own, I need help, is that you need to actively act on that motivation there and then. Once you come to that point, you know that I need help. You don't sit down and hope that the help will come and find you. Okay. Speak to someone who can help you. It can be just your mom or your dad or even a brother who is not into drug abuse. And that person will take responsibility by linking you to the right help or the right source of help for that matter. So once that step is taken, there are so many processes that we can take the individual through. Now, the issue of addiction is a multifaceted problem. Like I alluded to previously, there is a physical component of it. Timothy even mentioned the family aspect of addiction, how family members can handle the individual who has problems with addiction, and how the individual themselves will handle themselves. So it's a multifaceted thing. So we do what we call rehabilitation. Now, this rehabilitation process for the individual involves different stages. We would first do what we call detoxification to assist the individual through the withdrawal process, where they go through the the substance leave their bodies and their systems with some support, medical support, so that the pain of the withdrawal does not stop them from going on the recovery journey. Now, after that process, then the strategies that are needed are put in place. Now, no two individuals are the same when it comes to addiction. You may be smoking the same drug, the same weed, the same cocaine, but the dynamics in the individual's lives are different. So depending on the assessment and needs that come out, we tackle and address therapy in that particular fashion. Okay. And so the therapy involves, one, maybe we may have to do it residentially, or two, we may have to do it on an outpatient basis or on a one-on-one basis. Now, the reason why this rehabilitation is so important is that once the individual starts to use drugs, the brain sort of stops maturing. The brain almost regresses. It turns back and starts going back. So all the things that you would have learned, all the things, the experiences that you would have processed and got some wisdom out of, you kind of lose it. And so the rehabilitation process is supposed to reteach you all those kind of things. So you realize that when Timothy was talking, she talked about accountability issues, putting somebody in charge wherever you're going, report. It's like you have a child or a baby and he's going to school. When he goes to school, you expect that by 2 o'clock they've closed and come home and stuff like that. So it's about the same system that is put in place. And the idea behind it is that the brain has stopped growing. The brain has stopped maturing. And so we want the brain to kick start again and start reporting itself and taking responsibility for what is supposed to be done. And there's help all over. In all the psychiatric hospitals now, there are rehabilitation centers which are available. And then there are even a few private ones which are also around in the country that can help.
Thank God for that. I saved you for last, Uncle B, because I wanted us to practicalize everything that we have heard. You've talked about how Musica, for example, stands for the welfare of its members, and you want to help. But these are some very sensitive issues. People's health, sensitive on its own. People have cancer, they don't want you to know. How much more mental illness? So how does an organization like Musica bridge that cultural divide and connect with its members to the point where they can trust you and open up to you to the point where you can signpost them to help if they find themselves in addictive situations?
Well, I think this documentary is an eye-opener. I haven't seen anything like this before, and the stories that we are hearing calls for concern. And I think we will have to do that. And also, Musica, we cover all the regions. So quite recently, I remember some of the workshops we did. We sent it to other regions and they did the same thing. So I think we can work on this and try to have a workshop that will also deter the young ones, from getting involved in such illusions. I call them as an illusion because they are not real. But once you fall into it, because music itself is a drug. Once you are playing music, it gets to a point when people start hailing you. Even people see you on the road and they know you, you don't know them. You can easily become addicted to that hype, and you become untouchable. So you think everything you do is the right one and other people are. So I think we are going to work on it, and we cannot do this without the experts like my brother here. So we'll consult the right people and see the right way forward. I believe in doing things that will help musicians, and from my experience, I know Like my friend will always say, our friend will always say, if you don't do drugs, you can do better. You know, but the moment the minds get into that drive that I'm doing better than those who don't do drugs, then you are in trouble. So I want musicians to start thinking about this, that, you know, when you think the drugs are enhancing your production, it's just an illusion, and you can do better without it.
I love that. I love that. Well, I've got to say thank you so much to Timothy Bintum for the insights. Thank you so much to Dr. Julius Hatcher for the education. And thank you so much to Uncle Bessa Simons for the hope. And we certainly believe that this is the first step in a journey towards, hopefully, turning things around for many people who have suffered addiction thus far. We appreciate your time on the show, all of you. And there's more after these messages.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model. Securing your safety. Creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
Usually, we get special treatment only on our birthday. But imagine getting a special package every single day. That's what AT's Daily Deals gives you. You get unique voice and data deals exclusive to you. What's even better is it's affordable, reliable, and available. Start experiencing AT's Daily Deals. Dial *533# today and every single day. When you do, you'll unlock exclusive data and voice packages valid for 24 hours. Come on, people, jump on the AT Daily Deals train. When you're with dealer now. Dial *533# now and access awesome data and voice deals only from AT. Life is simple.
Yeah, one of my favorites of all time, Lord Kenya. Listen, thank you so much for listening. Today's show has been quite revealing. Let me remind you to go to kingdomstoreonline.com in your spare time and go pick up the very best quality office essentials, equipment, furniture, stationery, pay via Momo, and have it delivered for free if you're in Accra or Tema. Terms and conditions apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks. So, tomorrow on the Super Morning Show, Winston, when was it that the audit into SML, the report on the audit into SML was supposed to be delivered to the president by KPMG?
Well, so from the the extension letter that we saw, it gave them up to the 23rd of February to actually submit that report to the president. Yeah.
Well, that's quite some time ago, over a month ago.
Yes, over a month ago. That's about a month and almost a month and a half.
So where's the report?
Well, I mean, my checks indicate that the report has been submitted to the president. So as we speak, it's with the presidency.
And he's sitting on it?
Well, he's not released it. So it's with the presidency.
Okay. This was a matter of public interest. In fact, that is the reason the president gave for commissioning this audit.
Yeah.
Because it was a matter of public interest. Why would he receive the report and then not say a word? Well, tomorrow we're getting into it. There might even be some new facts on this matter that we'll be able to bring to the public domain. Speaking of bringing things to the public domain, the Fourth Estate has a documentary that you might be interested in. It's all about scholarships and the very interesting people who seem to qualify for them in Ghana. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll bring you that as well on the Super Morning Show. There is really no reason to miss it. It'll be action-packed. It's a big Thursday, and we want you to be a part of it. Until then, though, listen, keep listening to Joy. My name is Kojo Yankson. I'm the